Shalom, shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Barakatah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
YAHKI back at it again, you know, we in the building. To the right of me, I got my brother.
YAHKANON ELIEAZER.
YAHKANON ELIEAZER. So we gonna hit on a topic today, going over the actual spiritual meaning of the word Hebrew. Because we all call ourselves Hebrew Israelites. Don't even know what it means. You know what I'm saying? What do Hebrew Israelite mean? We know it's a nationality. We know it's a bloodline. We know it's a language. We know it's a land. You know what I'm saying? But what land is the Hebrews really from? Because remember, we call ourselves a spiritual people. So obviously there's a spiritual meaning to the word Hebrew and Israelite.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So we finna get to know ourselves spiritually more. So we're going to go on these scriptures. We're going to throw down on the word of God, and we're going to let the scripture speak for itself. And like I said, we open to constructive criticism. You know what I'm saying? Our comment board is never closed. No. So if y'all got any questions, any rebuttals, any disputes, anything whatsoever concerning the topic that we bringing forth, make sure y'all hit the comment board. So with that being said, let's get started. We're going to start it off in Genesis 11. Genesis chapter 11, start at verse 11. Hebrew. Let's get it done.
Genesis 11. Verse 11. And Shem lived after he begot Arphaxad 500 years and begot sons and daughters. And Arphaxad lived 530 years and begot Salah. And Salah.
Yeah.
And Arphaxad lived after he begot Salah 403 years and begot sons and daughters.
Come on.
And Salah lived 30 years and begot Eber.
You hear that? And begot Eber. Eber was the start. He was the start of this name Hebrew. And we're going to get into the actual Hebrew language and show that. So look up this word Eber in Hebrew. What do that mean?
Eber, strong light 8 H5677. Iber.
And check this out. So Eber name is Ibar. The word Hebrew is Abari or Ibri. Y'all hear it all the time, how they say it, Ibri. Well, it's Abari. Now, Eber name is Ibar. This is the first time this name is actually mentioned in the scriptures. It's coming from Eber. Well, guess what line that he progenerated? Guess what line that Eber started? He started the Semitic line. You know what I'm saying? It all goes through the line of Shem. But it started with Eber or Ibar. Now, what do Ibar mean?
Son of Salah, great-grandson of Shem, father of Peleg and Joktan.
You see that? Great-grandson of who? Shem. It's a Semitic line. So this is where the Hebrew lines come from. Shem, the name. The name comes from Ibar, Eber. Now you see where the word Hebrew actually come from. But we got to get into the meaning of Hebrew. So hit that root word. Before you hit it, call it out.
Strong definition. H5676. Eber.
Eber. Bar. That's his name. What do that mean?
Region beyond or across, side. Region across or beyond. Side. Opposite side. I'm going to go to the strong definition.
Come on.
H5674. A bar. To pass over.
To what?
To pass over.
So we see that the name Abar means to pass over. The name Hebrew is directly connected to passing over or crossing over something. And if anybody studied the scriptures a lot, they know that's all we did was pass through and cross over. And remember, it said region from beyond. Region from beyond, to pass, to cross over, to pass over. So once you start really getting to the name, you see the spiritual and the mystical meaning of you being a Hebrew. Do we got any more roots that you can go to before we start the lesson?
No, sir.
All right, so let's get it. So with that being said, let's get into these names. Let's get into the scripture. Let's go to Genesis 12, 1 through 12. Genesis 12, 1 through 12.
Genesis 12. Now the Most High had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation.
So look, peep this. So the father is telling Abram. Now look, check this out. Abram means the exalted father. the exalted father. Abraham means the exalted father of many. You know what I'm saying? So right now, his name is just the exalted father. But notice once he listened and his name got changed, what came? The promise came to his name because he had crossed over. Now it's Abraham. He said, if you listen to me and count this to me with your faith, and he did, he said, then what? He said, your seeds will be multiplied like the stars in the heavens. So we see once he really realized that and he actually crossed over, then his name became what? His name became the Hebrew Abraham. So his name went from the exalted father to the exalted father of many, showing that the promise is even embedded in his name, and then the Hebrew goes before it because he had crossed over. So he's telling him, hey, get up out of your land, take all your stuff, get up out of your land and go to this land. Let's see what Abraham did.
Verse 2. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed.
Now this is where you get the Abraham curse from. You know, you see a lot of Hebrews on the streets call themselves cursing people, and they use this verse to say that they cursing people. You know what I'm saying? We got to watch that, because for every idle word will be weighed in judgment.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? So you can't just be casting judgment on people and sending people to the lake of the fire. Huh? Come on.
So Abram departed, as the Lord hath spoken unto him.
You hear that? So he heard it. Soon as he heard it, he departed. This is immediately. That's how faith. That's how you know faith is faith, because works immediately follow the faith. He heard it, he believed, and he immediately got to work. You know what I'm saying? That's faith. Faith without works is dead. Come on.
And Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran.
You hear this? So he's not no teenage boy. He an old man, especially now. We not even living past his age today in this day and time. So he's becoming an old man, but his faith is still young. His faith is still fresh. It's not wavering. It's not going anywhere. This has something to do with his name and who he is. Huh? He's called Abraham the Hebrew. What is the spiritual significance of that name? And why is his characteristics lining up with his name? Huh? These are questions you have to ask yourself. So before you come out your mouth and be like you a Hebrew Israelite, yeah, we understand it by the actual bloodline. And even once you get into the bloodline, that's even significant and have a mystical meaning to it. But we know that we Hebrew Israelites by our blood, by our DNA. But we got to realize that it's going to be a lot of physical Hebrew Israelites burning in the lake of fire. So you being a physical Hebrew Israelite doesn't do you no justice if you're not applying it what? Spiritually.
That's right.
Come on, Hebrew.
And Abram took Sarah his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that had gotten in Haran. And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan.
Come on.
And into the land of Canaan they came. And Abram passed.
And Abram what?
And Abram passed.
And he passed what?
And Abram passed through the land unto the place of Shechem, unto the plain of Morah.
So now we see that Abram did what he was told to do. Abram passed through. We just read the Hebrew definition of that. So let's go to your app. Let's look up the Strongs in that verse and look up the word pass through. Let's see what pops up. So we see, in order for you to be called this name, you spiritually have to match this name. You know what I'm saying? I can't say in gangbanging terms, I can't say I'm a blood, but I'm crippin'. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking around with all this red on, but when I get behind closed doors, I'm throwing up C's and wearing blue. I'm not matching. Something's not matching up. Your pedigree is not adding up to your title. Huh? You see that? So we can't be floss flagging. We over here false flagging. We saying we Hebrew Israelites, but we not living like Hebrew Israelites live. We supposed to just be people passing through or crossing over. Meaning we're not from here. The word Hebrew means from beyond. We're not from earth. We're made of earth, but we're not from here. We have a heavenly estate. That's why Jerusalem coming to earth. So why are we acting like we are the world? Why are we taking on all these worldly customs when we ain't from here? Oh, because you not a Hebrew Israelite. You just have Hebrew Israelite blood, but your mindset is of a strange nation. Your mindset is of a strange man. Your mindset is of a strange woman. meaning you're from here, because the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. I hope you ain't from earth, huh? That means you are the wicked one. We are people from above, from beyond, across. We always was neighbors. We never was dwelling in lands, being a part of what they was doing. That's what got us off in the first place. Going to other people's land, learning their customs and ways, meaning you're being of the world. You're in the world at this point. So let's get back to our names and let's apply it spiritually. Because again, before you keep reading, I'm going to say it one more time. It's going to be a lot of Hebrew Israelites burning in the lake of fire. Remember, it says the punishment coming to Israelites first. The Hebrews get the punishment first. Come on, Hebrew.
H5674 for pass through.
You hear that? So you hear that? It's going back to what we started off with. So now we see this word again. Pass through in Hebrew means the same thing. You're passing through. You're passing over. We just, look, we're literally spiritual beings having a human experience. We passing through. That's why I be like, Shalom, what you been up, man? Shit, just another Hebrew passing through. That's our saying around here, because we understand what this means. This ain't our home. We ain't getting comfortable here. You got the nerve to get comfortable here. You are a Hebrew Israelite. You can't get comfortable on earth until the New Jerusalem in heaven come to earth.
That's right.
Come on.
A bar, to pass over, or by or through. Alienate. Bring.
You're what?
Alienate.
You're an alien. Now, how ironic, they call us aliens, right? We're alienated. But God's name is El Elyon. We aliens. Elyon. We a prince of the power. El Elyon. Elion. Alienate. Alien. Huh? What is an alien? Somebody that's unfamiliar. Somebody that's unidentified. Somebody that's not of your land. An alien. So we aliens when it comes to this. So of course, no, I don't fit in well here. Of course, I'm set apart. I'm a Hebrew.
That's right.
My very name speak on what I am. That's why bills don't get paid right. That's why I hate working for this white man. That's why I'm always playing catch up, because this system is not made for me. I'm an alien to this system, especially when it comes to this Greek system and all these customs and all these vain customs of the Edomites and East and all these other different nations. I'm alienated from that. I have nothing to do with that, because I am a Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
I cross over. I pass through. Have nothing to do with that. Come on, Hebrew.
You want me to continue with the definition?
Keep reading them on.
Do away, take away, transgress.
Go down to the strong. All the way to the strongs. Yeah, there you go. Bang. Yeah, go on straight.
A primitive root, to cross over.
To who?
To cross over.
To cross over. Isn't this what he did? He crossed over into the land of Canaan. Most High told him, hey, get your stuff, get your souls, get your possessions, and go take this land. And he crossed over. Now, always peep how we cross over the Euphrates rivers. We crossed over the river of Jordan. We crossed over the Red Sea. We always crossing over water. What do this symbolize? Hebrew symbolize baptism. Water, going through water, crossing over. It symbolized baptism of what though? Spiritually, the mind. Because when they crossed over the Red Sea in Egypt, didn't nobody get wet? So what is this really signifying here? What is the true meaning of your name, your heritage? The name, the title behind your heritage, huh? Come on.
Used very widely of any transition, literally or figuratively, transitively, intransitively, intensively, or specifically to cover in copulation.
So it's just letting you know you can use this in a physical sense, you can use this in a spiritual sense, but it's metaphorical. Metaphorically speaking, that's what it's telling you. Now we can drop that here. So it means to cross over, and this is what Abraham did. He crossed over. My bad, he's Abram at this time. This is when Abram crossed over. He listened to the Most High power. Come on.
And the Most High appeared unto Abram and said, unto thy seed will I give this land. And there builded he an altar unto the Most High, who appeared unto him. And he removed from thence unto a mountain on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west, and Ha on the east. And there he built an altar unto the Most High, and called upon the name of the Elohim.
You see that? So after he listened, he signified the place. Whenever he speaks to the Lord and he starts working the attributes of his nationality, which is being a Hebrew, and he crosses over, the first thing that Lord did once he hearkened into the voice, he blessed him.
That's
Hey,
right.
all this is yours. So by you being your name, by you living out the characteristics of your name and who you are, you get blessed. You get blessed for being a Hebrew Israelite. But you have to live up to the expectations of being a Hebrew Israelite by the Spirit. And you see what the Most High do? He blessed them. And every time he blessed them, every time the Most High hollered at our forefather Abraham, guess what he did? He hollered back. He built the altar and he marked it. He sanctified. He put an oath there saying, this is where the Most High spoke to me at. We should be doing the same thing with our words. Whatever everywhere, speak his word, profess it boldly. We are Hebrews.
That's
we
right.
just Hebrews passing through. We just passing through, picking up and finding other Hebrews on the way. That's what we doing. Hey, wake up, nigga. Wake up, Negro. Wake up. Come on, let's go. We passing through.
That's
Get
right.
your ass up. Let's go. Huh? Come on.
Verse 9. And Abram journeyed, going on still towards the south. And there was a famine in the land. And Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there. For the famine was grievous in the land. And it came to pass, when he was come near to enter into Egypt, that he had said unto Sarah, his wife, Behold now, I know that thou art a fair woman to look upon.
Read 12 and we gonna jump.
Therefore it shall come to pass, when the Egyptians shall see thee, that they shall say, This his wife, and they will kill me, but they will save thee alive.
So that gets to a whole nother story. But since we speaking on Egypt and Exodus, let's go to Exodus 3:18. Exodus 3:18, and we're gonna come back. Exodus 3:18, just to show y'all something. Go to Exodus 3:18, brother.
Exodus chapter 3, verse 18.
Come on here, Bun.
And they shall hearken to thy voice, and thou shalt come, thou and the elders of Israel, unto the king of Egypt, and ye shall say unto him,
What you gonna say?
and ye shall say unto him,
Now read this slow to them.
The Lord God of the Hebrews.
Of the who?
Of the Hebrews.
Did you hear that? So now we see the Lord God. He's directly attaching himself to the name. The Hebrews. God of the Hebrews. Come on.
Hath met with us, and now let us go, we beseech thee, 3 days' journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice to the Lord our Elohim.
Now look, go to your Strongs, go to that particular verse, look up the word Hebrew. Let's get the word for actual Hebrews. Now we see that God is putting himself over this particular people called the Hebrews. And notice which Hebrews he's talking about, because it says he gathered the Israelites into Egypt. So he's talking about the Hebrew Israelites. The reason why I'm making that distinction, because we have other Hebrew nations out there. We have the Hebrew Israelites, the Hebrew Ishmaelites, and the Hebrew Edomites. You know what I'm saying? They're all Hebrews. But we're the particular nation of the Hebrews that got the promise.
That's
and
right.
the reason why it was ordained before the heavens and earth was even created. This was sanctified and appointed when he was creating all things. We got the same blood that Christ got in him. We have the same blood that Yahweh possessed in his veins. That same blood. That's why in the image and likeness it says Damu. If you look up the word likeness, it goes back to Dam, back to the blood. So how they say, boy, you look just like your daddy, boy, you move just like your daddy do. That's why we act the way we do. That's why we perform the way we perform. That's why we think so intelligent. That's why we create everything, because the creator is our father by blood. What do you think it means when it says we was bought by the blood of Christ? That signifies something way deeper than what you stressing off of. Come on, Hebrew.
Definition is in the Strong Light, H5680. I breathe.
Abari. It's a ayan, it's a bet, it's a resh, and it's a yod. Abari. Let me write this. Hand me that up board real quick. Let me write this down for y'all. Abari. Can you go handle that camera real fast? Abari. Let me write it down for y'all real fast. Now we all know in the Hebrew, we read from right to left, so we write from right to left. Let's look at this word Abari. Let me write it big for y'all, matter of fact. This is what our bar look like. Our bar read. Our bar. We got a ayan, we got a bet, we got a resh, and we got a yod. Check that out, y'all. Trying to cut this phone off. Hold on, let me cut my ring off real quick. They be ringing my phone off the line hook. Alright, our bar. So we see we got the ayan. Guess what ayan mean? Ayan means eye, which is a part of your head. Guess what bet means? Bet means the temple. What are temples a part of? Your head. The temples in your head. People get migraines usually in the temple, part of your head. Then you got resh. Guess what resh means? Resh means head. Then you got yod, which means hands, but it signifies thoughts, something being called down. So your very name has something to do with your soul, your conscious. All of these are conscious things. All of these. Ayan, I, sha'ai, bet, temple, the body. But this the body of the mind, the soul. Resh means head. Yod, which means hands, but it's got to be called down from the head. All these things signify the head. Who is the head of the church? Christ.
That's right.
Huh? And then all Christ, why you think he didn't have a home? All Christ did was do what? Cross over and pass through and teach the word. Telling y'all to get y'all head right. Keep your head in the game. Abari or Ibri, Hebrew. I'm going to focus it back out a little bit before we can get on both of us when we come in. What's the time we looking like too on there?
21.
21, okay. Let's get back to the lesson. But that Hebrew is amazing, y'all. The Hebrew is amazing. So finish reading the definition of that. So y'all see what it means spiritually. Y'all see the actual names, then the letters of the names, and how it all has something to do with here, your Kita, your Christ conscious, the Kita crown, or what you would call the crown chakra, whatever y'all want to call it. You know what I'm saying? It's directly talking about this. So when you hear Hebrew, automatically know it's from above, not as below. Automatically know it's above the neck. Resh, eyes, bet, temples, temple of the house. Hand, which bring forth something. It's forcing something. That's called a thought, calling down something. That's what the Hebrew mean. That's what the word Hebrew mean. Abori. So when the next time you call yourself a Hebrew, make sure that you applying the characteristics of it.
That's right. The definition is Hebrew, one from beyond, a designation of patriarchs.
I mean, what? One from what?
One from beyond.
One from beyond. That's what your name mean. Hebrew Israelite. Whew. One from beyond. Israelite mean God exalted, or the prince of the power. The prince of the power is from beyond. That's what Hebrew Israelite mean. God exalted the ones from beyond. That's what a Hebrew Israelite mean.
Ooh.
And then if you actually break down each word and read each word, I would say it's a whole sentence that'll blow your mind. So let's start really living by the name. Now you see that you really can shame the name of God and use his name in vain, because you are Hebrew Israelite by blood. You're supposed to be about spiritually, but you crossing over going into these other lands. We're strangers and aliens here. We're not from here, but you in here taking on all their customs. Whew. You are really shaming the name of God. That is using the God name in vain. Come on.
That's right. A designation of patriarchs and the Israelites, noun proper. A designation of the patriarchs and the Israelites, adjective.
So it means what? It means one from beyond. You might well go restart the camera real quick. One from beyond. So we have to really start living by a name. It's something different, something way deeper than what you thought it was. Way deeper than what you thought it was. We got to get it together. You know what I'm saying? We got to. We have to get it together. So we're going to keep going through. We're going to get to these scriptures, man, and it'll blow your mind what this crossover means and what happened during this crossover. Some significant things happened that'll make you be like, all praises to the Elohim. All praises to the Elohim of the Eber, the God of the Hebrews, what we just read in Exodus 3:18. Come on, Hebrew.
So we are still at Exodus 3:18.
No, we're gonna jump. Let's jump to Genesis 40. Genesis 40:15. We're going to Genesis 40, y'all. Genesis 40, verse 15. Just to show y'all a couple more before we actually get into this this lesson. Genesis 40, verse 15. Matter of fact, start at 12.
Genesis 40, verse 12. And Joseph said unto him, this is the interpretation of it. The 3 branches are 3 days. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thine head and restore thee unto thy place.
Lift up thy what?
Thine head.
Thy head. We just talked about the head. Come on.
And restore thee unto thy place. And thou shalt deliver Pharaoh's cup into his hand, after the former manner which thou was his butler.
Come on.
But think on me when it shall be well with thee, and show kindness, I pray thee, unto me, and make mention of me unto Pharaoh, and bring me out of this house. For indeed I was stolen away out of the land of the Hebrews.
You hear that? From indeed I was stolen out of the way of the land of the Hebrews. Huh? He was stolen out of the land of Goshen. The land of the Hebrews. Notice, everywhere we go, it becomes our land. Why is that? Because we influence. Look up that word Hebrew. Because in that same chapter. Because wherever we go, we influence so much that it becomes our land. Wherever we at. Who fill up America now? Negroes. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nowhere you can go in the world where you can't find no Hebrews by blood. Now, it's probably somewhere you can go in different parts where you find a Hebrew that they ain't Hebrew by the spirit, but physically we are everywhere. We're everywhere. He scattered us to all 4 corners.
That's right.
Got it.
Yes, sir.
Let's look it up.
Strong Light H5680. I breathe.
Look, it's the same thing again.
Yes, sir.
It's the same one again. Everywhere we go is gonna show that. I breathe. I bari. See, the I is ayan, bet, ba, resh, ra, yod, ya. Abari.
Definition, Hebrew, one from beyond.
One from beyond. There it go again. So we're beyond this. We're from above, not as below. We was chosen before the foundation of the world. Ephesians 4:1. Or 1:4. So we was chosen before the foundations of the world. We not even from this region. We not from here. Why you think he said, don't be others, don't love the world? Huh? God had intimacy with the world. The world is God's enemy. So if you love the world, then you got to be going against the Father. You can't be no Hebrew loving the world. He's not your God now. Material things are your God. Cars are your God. Money is your God. So now he's not the God of the Hebrews when it comes to you, because spiritually you're not living to the characteristics and the authority of the name he gave you. You're not. So we got to get back to that.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Hebrew. Finish out 15 real quick and we're going to hit that Exodus.
For indeed I was stolen away out of the land of the Hebrews, and there also I have done nothing that they should put me into the dungeon. Because
Joseph was bound. He was bound at this point. All right, come on. Let's go to Exodus 14. And make sure y'all read Genesis 40 to show y'all, man, we've been getting afflicted. We've been getting thrown in dungeons. We've been getting locked up, all that. Exodus 14. We're going to start at 1. We're going to read this whole chapter.
All right. And the Most High spake unto Moshe, saying, speak unto the children of Israel.
Speak unto the children of who?
Israel.
He says, speak unto the powers of God. Prince of the power. Israel. The Hebrew Israelites. The prince of the power. Ones that are from beyond. Speak unto them. Come on.
That they turn and encamp before Pahahira, between Migdol and the sea over against Balazalphon. Before it shall ye encamp by the sea.
Come on.
For Pharaoh will say of the children of Israel, they are entangled in the land. The wilderness has shut them in. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, that he shall follow after them. And I will be honored upon Pharaoh and upon all his hosts, that the Egyptians may know that I am the Lord. And they did so. And it was told the king of Egypt that the people fled, and the heart of Pharaoh and of his servants was turned against the people. And they said, why have we done this, that we have let the Israel go from serving us? And he made ready his chariots, and took his people with him. And he took 600 chosen chariots, and all the chariots of Egypt, and captains over every one of them.
Come on.
And the Most High hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he pursued after the children of Israel.
You hear that? So after he said he was going to let them go, now he pursuing after them. Because the Most High hardened his heart. Y'all better pray that he never do y'all like that for y'all continuously being hard-headed.
That's right.
That's a reprobate mind at that point. Come on.
And the children of Israel went out with an high hand, but the Egyptians pursued after them, all the horses and chariots of Pharaoh, and his horsemen, and his army, and overtook them encamping by the sea besides Pahahiroth, before Baal-Zephon. And when Pharaoh drew nigh, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them.
So they playing cat and mouse game right now. Come on.
And they were sore afraid. And the children of Israel cried out unto the Lord.
Hey, they're like, man, look, I thought you let us go. Now they chasing after us. Lord, what's going on? What's going on here? Come on.
And they said unto Moses, because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness? Wherefore hast thou dealt with us, to carry us forth out of Egypt? Is not this the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, let us alone, that we may serve Egyptians?
You hear that? Even after they out, notice they almost close to the seashore. They still back talking Moses and weak in faith. At this point, or you a Hebrew Israelite, or you living by your name at this point, because that's directly coordinated with faith. That's directly attached to faith, because faith that Abraham had, he became a Hebrew. The faith, that's what changed his name to Abraham. The faith. Now we see them lacking faith just because they get scared and get afraid and they start doubting. And notice it said they called on the Lord because they were so afraid, but they still doubting while calling on the Lord. How was that even doing you any justice? You calling on the Lord, but you doubting at the same time. Makes no sense. That's why if it wasn't for the mercy of Yahweh and how much God loves us for real, we have been done. Because we not following no direction. Because the Most High don't even give you the spirit of fear. Fear is nothing but doubt. Questioning the faith of Yahweh. Come on.
For it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians than that we should die in the wilderness. And Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation.
See the who?
And see the salvation of the Most High.
You hear that? See the Yeshua of the Most High. See his son. See Yahweh Yeshua. Of the Lord. So now we see that Christ was with them the whole time, because they are Hebrews. Come on.
Which he will show you today. For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever.
You hear that? You ain't gonna see them no more forever. Come on.
The Most High shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. And the Most High said unto Moshe, wherefore criest thou unto me? Speak unto the children of Israel, that they go forward.
You hear that? Why you crying to me? Hey, you better tell them to keep it pushing, keep it moving.
That's right.
I already gave you instructions beforehand on what to do anyway. Keep the faith, keep walking. Abraham did it. We always got somebody to go back to see who did it, that laid the groundwork for us. He showed us with faith you prevail. With being a Hebrew, living up to the characteristics of the authority of the name Hebrew, you prevail.
That's right.
Because you cross over. You're from beyond. You're the one from beyond. Ain't no earthly, worldly things have nothing on you. You got to worry about what can kill the body and the soul. We not worried about the bodies of vehicles. We just Hebrews passing through. Just like they finna pass through this Red Sea. What is y'all stressing off of? What is you worried about bills for? Trying to keep up with the Joneses. Worry about your cars and all this crazy worldly things anyway when you are a Hebrew passing through, crossing over. We're strangers to this land. We are the strangers. We're the sojourners. Didn't he say, don't you hate the Egyptians because you was a what in this land? A stranger. We're the aliens, Elyon, part of the Elohim. That's us. Come on.
Verse 16. But lift thou up thy rod, and stretch out thy hand over the sea, and divide it, And the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea.
Through what?
Through the midst of the sea.
Through the midst of the sea. He said, pass through the sea. Get your staff, hit the water. He said a path is going to be made for you. You know how they say the path is straight and narrow? We see the straight and narrow path. But you have to pass through it on dry ground. The ground, look, this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. When you being a Hebrew spiritually, the groundwork is already done. All you have to do is believe, have your faith. And he'll make the path for you through the name. Crossover, Passover, Ibri, Abari, Abar, Eber, Hebrew, Israelite, Prince of the Power, God will what? Prevail. All of that is your heritage. That's the name that's attached to your heritage. That's a name that's attached to the blood that pumps through your veins, your body. That's beautiful.
All praises.
Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 17. And I, behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they shall follow them. And I will get me honor upon Pharaoh, and upon all his hosts, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Most High, when I have gotten me honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. And the angel of Yahweh, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them. And the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them.
Ooh, come on.
And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. And it was a cloud and darkness to them.
You hear that, boy? Whenever the Most High come to seek vengeance, notice he always come with that cloud and he come with darkness. The day of the Lord gonna be dark. Come on.
But it gave light by night to these, so that the one came not near the other all the night.
Come on.
And Moshe stretched out his hand over the sea. And Yahweh caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night.
Now look, Pete, how strong is this wind? For this wind had to been some strong howling, whistling wind to go to the ocean and pull back the ocean. There had to been some strong winds. Some strong winds. The power of your God. The God of the who? Hebrew. Come on.
And made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground.
You hear that? They went into the midst. Now they're what? Passing through. Abar. Hebrew. They're living out what? Their name. They living out the characteristics of the authority of their name, which are Hebrew Israelites. They're passing through because they are princes of God. They're one from beyond. They're strangers. They're not of this world. They're not of this earth. So when you're not of this earth and of this world, of course you made from the earth, but you're not of it. When you're not of this and you're not in it like that, you see yourself doing extraordinary things. Mystical things happen, what they call magic. You see some things, you be like, how did he do that? How is this nigga jumping 9 feet and dunking over 3 people? How is he running faster than a gazelle? Your name. And your name is attached to your blood. Your blood pumping that melanin. That melanin is that third eye. The third eye keep you connected. It's the antenna to the heavens. Even down to the science, you are Hebrew. But you have to spiritually start living out the characteristics of the authority of that name. You have to. Otherwise, you just hit physical and not spiritual. And if you're not spiritual, once again, there are going to be millions of Hebrew Israelites by blood in the lake of fire. But the ones that's by spirit that crossed over, they're going to be where? In the New Jerusalem, dwelling on a new earth, a new heaven. Now we can say this is ours. Now we're no longer strangers to this land because it's ours.
That's right.
In the end, the meek shall inherit the earth. The meek shall inherit the earth. You have no inheritance if you're not living out the characteristics of the authority of the name Hebrew. You're not Israelite. You buy it by blood, but you Greek mentality by mind. You are the devil. You are the wicked one. And that's just what it is. And I don't say that. YAHKANON didn't say that. Scripture said that.
That's right.
That's scripture. Come on, Hebrew.
And the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left.
Come on.
And the Egyptians pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea.
You hear that? So look, they keeping the faith too. They got their own faith. They're like, oh, look, they heart so hardened, they not even noticing this miracle. They like, we following these niggas anyway. Look, let me be an Egyptian. for Mishraim. I would have been the first Negro to turn around. I'm like, oh no, that ain't normal right there. That's not normal at all. The whole sea done divided it as parts. Obviously, the Most High have plans for these Hebrews. They gonna follow behind. That's a hardened heart. They insane at this time. They thirsting for blood. Huh? Innocent blood at that. Whew, scripture talk about that. Come on.
Even all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen. And it came to pass that in the morning watch the Most High looked unto the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and of the cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians, and took off their chariot wheels, that they drive them heavily.
You hear that? So they wheels done fell off. Now the horses just dragging chariots, no wheels. Huh? Now, no, you know how big this was. It's like 255 kilometers of ocean floor they got to pass. So look, they not even going nowhere. Like, they not even going nowhere. Come on.
So that the Egyptians said, let us flee from the face of Israel.
Now look, now they notice, they like, man, we in the middle of this sea. Israel down there on the other side. They all the way to the other side. We caught in the middle and our wheels ain't working. They like, look, let's turn back and go now. But it's too late. It's too late to turn back. It's too late to repent. That's all turn back mean. Repent. It's too late to repent now. Come on.
For the Lord fighteth for them against the Egyptians.
You hear that? For the Lord fighteth for the Hebrews against the Egyptians. That's the power that's connected to your name. Something fights for you. Huh? Something fight for you. That's why he said, hey, bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you. You a Hebrew. We have that power. Anything that come against you, you will travail if you are Hebrew by the what? Spirit. We all know we Hebrews by blood. We ain't talking about the blood no more. We know that Christ was bled for us once. He was brought. We already sold into Christ. But now we're still being sold into sin. This is what Paul was talking about. With this name attached to us. That's blaspheming. It's a form of blasphemy, man. We already got the power to fight for us. We Hebrews. We got to be Hebrew by the Spirit.
That's right.
This how much he loved us. They was lacking faith, doubting, talking bad to Moshe, and still passed through the sea. God still fought for us at our lowest. We was lower than snail nuts, and he still fought for us.
That's low, man.
That's very low.
Yeah, you know it is.
Come on, Hebrew.
And Yahweh said unto Moshe, stretch out thy hand over the sea, that the waters may come again upon the Egyptians, upon their chariots and upon their horsemen. And Moshe stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to its strength.
You hear that? So while they in there, he stretched forth his hand. Now the water started subsiding, going back to the ocean. Well, you know that the Egyptians is in the middle. Their chariot wheels broke. They turned back and tried to go, but look, they're trying to go back miles and miles to get back to their shore. Now we all know what's finna happen. Come on, you bro.
And Moshe stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to its strength when the morning appeared, and the Egyptians fled against it, and the Lord overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea.
Woo.
And the waters returned and covered the chariots.
You hear that? So look, picture this. When you go in a pool, you dive in the pool, it's too deep, you start panicking. You don't know which way down or up. They in the ocean. All this pressure from this water then went back to this sea. Come on now, not even the best swimmers gonna survive that. Everybody died. Everybody. You can look up now, you can look this up online. They found chariots and artifacts of this actually in the bottom of the Red Sea. This event actually happened. This book is real. This is your history book.
That's right.
Come on, Hebrew.
And the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen and all the hosts of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. There remained not so much as one of them.
Whew.
But the children of Israel walked upon dry land.
You hear that? Walked upon what?
Dry land.
All praises. Look,
Yes,
because you a Hebrew Israelite. You walked upon dry land. You didn't get wet. But you was spiritually baptized for living out the characteristics of the authority of your name.
That's right.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes,
Come on.
In the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. Thus Yahweh saved Israel that day. Thus Yahweh saved Israel that day.
He saved Israel. He saved Israel. Ain't that's all we looking for is to be what? Saved? But you can't be saved if you're not living out the characteristics of the authority of your name, which is the heritage he gave you. Hebrew Israelite. Huh? A Bari Israeli. Come on.
Thus the Lord saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Israel saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore. And Israel saw the great work which the Most High did upon the Egyptians. And the people feared the Most High and believed the Lord and his servant Moshe.
All praises. Go check the camera, see what time we on. You see that? So you see how the miracle came? Most High got to show us miracles just to believe. But with Abraham, he didn't have to show no miracles. What time we on?
21.
You might want to restart it. But the Most High didn't have to show Abram. He just told him and he did it. But with our hard head butts, he got to show us stuff. He got to, you know what I'm saying? He basically dragging us to be saved. Huh? All right, let's keep it pushing. Let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah 51 and 10. Isaiah 51 and 10. Huh? The spiritual meaning of the Hebrew word Hebrew. Abori. What is this meaning of Israelite? Israeli. Huh? Israel. Yasharah. However y'all want to say it. Hold on, let me get there, Hebrew. So, Isaiah 51. All right, Isaiah 51, start at 5, Hebrew. Isaiah 51 and 5.
Isaiah 51 verse 5.
Let's get it.
My righteousness is near. My salvation is gone forth.
My who?
My salvation is gone forth.
My Yeshua. Yeshaya. Yahweh have gone forth. Come on.
And my arm shall judge the people.
His arm. Ain't his arm his right hand? Ain't that Christ? Come on.
The ISIL shall wait upon me, and on my arm shall they trust. Lift up your eyes to the heavens, and look upon the earth beneath.
You hear that? And look upon the earth beneath. We from the heavens, man. We Hebrews. We just Hebrews crossing through. We're the ones from beyond.
That's right.
Huh? Come on.
For the heavens shall vanish away like smoke, and the earth shall wax old like a garment.
Come on.
And they that dwell therein shall die in like manner.
You hear that? If you dwell in here, if you a part of this, you dying like that. If you're a part of these worldly things, you attached to this wicked world, guess how you dying? Just like that. But he gonna save his remnant. He gonna protect his remnant through the attribute of the what? Authority of the characteristics of the name. Come on.
But my salvation shall be forever.
You hear that? Christ shall be forever. That's why we got to make sure we are part of his body. Because he forever. He reign forever.
That's right.
After the order of MELCHIZEDEK. MELCHIZEDEK. Huh? Come on.
And my righteousness shall not be abolished. Hearken unto me, ye that know righteousness.
Come on.
The people in whose heart is my law.
Come on.
Fear ye not the reproach of men. Neither be ye afraid of their revelings, for the moth shall eat them up like a garment, and the worm shall eat them like wool. But my righteousness shall be forever.
You hear that? His righteousness established forever. So make sure you living righteous, because if you ain't living righteous, then you can't call yourself a Hebrew Israelite spiritually. So a lot of y'all wicked ones should just be like, yeah, I'm a Hebrew Israelite by blood. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. It don't mean nothing because you ain't doing nothing with it. So y'all need to start saying, the ones that's not listening and hearkening to the laws of our God, y'all need to start saying, yeah, I'm a Hebrew Israelite by blood, but I'm not adopted back to the family. Huh? It says, what manner of love the Lord hath bestowed upon us, that one day we should be able to call the sons of Elohim. You can't call yourself the son of Elohim if you're not living as the son of Elohim. He said the sons of Elohim don't commit sin after sin after sin after sin.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Come on.
And my salvation from generation to generation. Awake, awake, put on strength, O arm of the Most High.
Ooh, come on.
Awake, as in the ancient days in the generation of old. Art thou not it that hath cut Rahab and wounded the dragon?
You hear that? Huh? You ain't the person. You ain't the person that brought us out of the land of Egypt. You ain't the person that divided the Red Sea into its parts. Made Israel pass through the midst of it, but overthrew Pharaoh and his host into the Red Sea. Huh? All for the Hebrews? Said y'all better wake up. Come on.
Verse 10. Art thou not it which have dried the sea,
Whew.
the waters of the great deep, that have made the depth of the sea a way for the ransom to pass over?
The ransom to what?
To pass over.
Let's look up that word Passover right here. He just talked about the story we just read. He said, wasn't that me to make you pass over on dry land through the Red Sea? I made you pass over. What do that word Passover mean? Huh? I made you pass over. Me. I'm God.
It is H5674.
Come on.
A bar.
A who?
A bar.
A bar. Look, this is not a coincidence. A bar, which means what?
To pass over.
To who?
To pass over.
A bar. Eber. A bar. To pass over. Our name is Abari. You see the connection, the root words to the connection? He said, I gave you a bar. I named you a bar. I made you a bar. I made you pass over the Red Sea. Did none of y'all get wet? Did not none of y'all died. But all the host of the Egyptians of Pharaoh camp died.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Isaiah, he foretell like, look, don't forget that this happened. Paul did it all out through his writings. Don't forget this happened. Don't forget about Abraham. Don't forget about the Red Sea. Don't forget about the wilderness, how y'all passed through the wilderness. Huh? Don't forget how he passed over the rivers of Euphrates. Don't forget how you pass over from coming from the darkness into light. Huh? Don't forget how you passed over being a follower of that wicked one and passed over, crossed over to following Christ. Hebrew, Abari, which is the name of your heritage. Start exercising the characteristics of the authority of your name.
That's right.
Come on, Hebrew.
You want me to continue?
Yeah, read it to finish reading that off real quick. Just get them familiar with it. Yeah.
To pass over or by or through, alienate, bring, carry, do away, take away, transgress.
Alienate, El-Elyon, El, power, Elahayim, El-Elyon. We're aliens, man. We not from here. We from outer space, man. We from outer space. This is what it is. We are the Martians. But we come here to have this human experience, and we come to teach this word to these other nations. Just like when we in New Jerusalem and they come up to the mounts and we teach onto them. We show them and we talk about how magnificent our power is, the God of the ones that's from beyond. Man, it's beautiful.
Yes, sir.
Come on, let's read verse 11.
Verse 11. Therefore, the redeemed of the Most High shall return and come with singing unto Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon their head. They shall obtain gladness and joy and sorrow, and mourning shall flee away.
See, that won't be no more of that. Like, let's stop right here. Let's stop right here and let's go to Psalms. Psalms 136, which is my favorite prayer, man. My favorite song. Psalms 136. Psalms 136. Somewhere up in here. 13 and 14. Let me get there first, Hebrew. Psalms 136, 13 and 14. Y'all know YAHKI. Y'all know this is my favorite song right here, man. Come on.
Psalms 136, verse 13. To him which divided the Red Sea into parts, for his mercy endureth forever.
You hear that? So look, notice we got all these people talking about what happened. They understand this name Hebrew. Huh? We just had Isaiah talking about it. We just had Moses talking about it. Now right here we got Paul. I mean, not Paul, but David, King David, Malak Dawada talking about it. Huh? You know what I'm saying? We got everybody talking about this. Because they understand the spiritual attribute of the actually exercising the characteristics of the authority of the name Hebrew. Flat out. This is what it is. Come on.
Verse 14.
Start at 13 one more time.
Verse 13. To him which divided the Red Sea into parts, for his mercy endureth forever. And made Israel to pass through the midst of
what?
And made Israel to pass through the midst of.
Let's look up this word pass through. Let's just look it up. Yeah. Pass through the midst of it. We just Hebrews passing through. That's all we are. We crossing over. We strangers. We're aliens. We're exiles. Huh? They call us the what they call us, the rejects. We're like the rejects. It's not a bad thing if you're a reject from Satan, but you accepted by God. That's not a bad thing at all. I love to be a reject. I'm not of her. I'm set apart, holy. I'm completely devoted to one's deity.
That's right.
Set apart. I can care less about this world. Nuclear hellfire can burn this up right now. I'm gonna be like, hallelujah.
So you ain't watching the Super Bowl today?
Look, I don't even do sports. That does nothing for me. I'm gonna be up with the brothers chopping up doctrine.
That's right.
Huh?
Slap boxing.
You slap boxing and trying to see how to get our youth off these streets. We got other things to do because we're trying to connect with other Hebrews and let them know that they're one from beyond. They're not from here. So why is your main focus on earth? We're not even from earth. Again, I'm not saying that we're not made from earth, that we didn't come from earth, because we're made of earth. But we got to realize that earth come from the galaxies. Everything that earth have, the galaxy have. Earth was created from the universe. Who created the universe? Christ. Who created Christ? Yah. We're from everything in the universe. I'm a Hebrew. I don't limit myself to earth. I'm not going to limit myself to earth. My very name of my inheritance won't let me. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. One from beyond, Prince of the power.
That's right.
I'm not going to limit myself to nothing physical because I'm not a physical being. I'm in a physical vehicle. But hey, look, this got to die. This shit going to wither away one day. But guess what's going to remain forever? That consciousness, that soul, the one from beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Hebrew.
Strong Light H5674. A bar.
What?
A bar.
Man, look, how many times we done read a bar?
About 4 times.
About 4 times already. We got some scriptures to go. I'm gonna try to make it short though, but we got some scriptures to go. A bar, to pass through, to cross over. Let's read the definitions, please, brother.
To pass over or by or through, alienate, bring, carry, do away.
You heard that? So we only dwell for a minute. We only dwell for a minute, then we keep it pushing. We dwell, we do what we gotta do, we sojourn, we do what we gotta do, and then it's on to the next. Just like Christ did, Yahushua. He stayed, he taught, he dipped out. Went to another place. He healed, he taught, he dipped out. Went to another place. He banged, he taught, he dipped out. Went to another place. We don't stay nowhere long. Huh? We don't stay nowhere long. We always on the go. We live like we ain't got home. Because we ain't got no home.
No, we don't.
Our home is in the heavens.
That's right.
New Jerusalem. Huh? It's what it is. We're strangers. We're aliens. El Elyon. We're strangers. We exile. We have nothing to do with this. I'm using all of this bullshit that's going to wither away to help out my people.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not made for me to get comfortable here. Who want to get comfortable in garments like these? What is this? Huh? Like if you even look at it from a spiritual view, this don't mean nothing anyway. It's all cheap, handmade. I don't care how many hours or what type of material you made to make this stuff. It perishes. Yeah. Moth and worms is gonna eat it one day. Just like it's gonna eat your black self. So what we need to start doing is realizing who we really are and start getting inside that resh, a bar. Remember, it was every letter of that Hebrew word was connected to the head. Huh? We had ayan, them are eyes, which are in your head. You had the bet, which is the temple. Temples are connected to your head. You had the resh. Resh means head in Hebrew. Huh? Then you had the yod, which is to call down, to force upon. You call things down from above. So all these things are connected. The very abari or abar or Hebrew is connected to your spiritual realm, your consciousness, your pineal gland, you. And then Israelite back it up. So now you're classified. You're not an Ishmaelite now. You're not an Edomite. You're a Hebrew Israelite, which means one that's from beyond, who is the Prince of the power. We are representations of Christ. We represent God. Huh? You need to act like you do. You need to act like so. How you gonna be a representation of God? You a representation of God. You speak for God, but everything you do behind closed doors goes against it. Negro, you ain't no Hebrew. You a pretender. Most High said you a liar and the truth ain't in you.
That's right.
Once again, it's gonna be millions of Hebrew Israelites by blood in the lake of fire. By blood, but by spirit, they gonna resurrect. They gonna reign with Elohim. They gonna get possessions of land. They gonna reign forever. Hebrews.
That's right.
So look, let's start exercising the characteristics of the authority of the heritage, which is your name. Hebrew, Israelite, cross over, abar, alien, elyon, to pass through. Come on.
Verse 14. And made Israel to pass through the midst of it, for his mercy endureth forever.
For his mercy endureth forever. Let's read 15.
But overthrew Pharaoh and his hosts in the Red Sea, for his mercy endureth forever.
You see that? So you see, like, everybody's talking about this. Because this, like, how we was led up out of Egypt was so big, man. They talk about this in all religions. Like, how we was led, how we came up out of Egypt was miracles upon miracles upon miracles. All is associated with your name, Hebrew. So you see that something physical, it starts in the spiritual realm, but something physical have to take place. That's why Christ, which starts from the spirit, he was on the right hand of the throne. He had to manifest himself to the physical. Same thing with your name. It starts in the consciousness. It starts in the heaven. Now we manifested in the physical. Now it's time to start doing what we're supposed to be doing, which is crossing over, picking up our fellow Hebrews, going back to where we came from beyond. It's a cycle. We just Hebrews passing through. That's it. Now I don't want to sit and eat there. I got something to do. Y'all seen the book of Eli? He was on a mission. He was passing through. We like that. Now I ain't got time to watch no football game. Not knocking anybody that do. It's not a sin to watch football, but I don't have time for that because I'm a Hebrew passing through. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We got other things to do like this. This is what it is. This is what my life consists of. It don't consist of nothing else. This and music. And even my music is about the Most High. Everything I breathe is about the Most High because I'm a Hebrew passing through. I know what my home is. It sure ain't here. So I'm not getting comfortable here. That's like getting comfortable in prison. Hell is you getting comfortable in prison for? All I'm thinking about is my checkout day. All I'm thinking about is my release date from this deal.
That's right.
Just like in prison. You be marking it down on the counter. Boy, day 1, day 2, year 1, year 2. You trying to get up out of there. So why in the hell is we getting comfortable here when we're Hebrews? Just passing through.
Excuse me.
I'll go pause that real quick. I gotta clean up this oil. Yeah, I'm getting too excited. I done spilled my oil. Go stop there real quick. Yeah, we just, man, my bad, man. I done spilled some things, man. We back, though. But, yeah, we just Hebrews passing through, man. That's all it is. That's all we are. So let's be like that. So, let's go to Corinthians. We're going to go to 1 Corinthians 10. Let's hit some New Testaments. We've been in this Old Testament. Let's hit up some New Testament real quick. Remember, the spiritual meaning of the Hebrew word Hebrew, Israelite. We all call ourselves that, but spiritually, we act like we don't know what it means. Because if you knew what it means spiritually, you would be acting like that. You'll be actually living out the characteristics of the authority of that name. That's directly connected to your heritage. Notice we don't have our heritage yet. Everybody else getting their inheritance, what they inherited. We ain't inherited nothing yet. So we need to get back to that. We need to act like we were actually going to it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So let's hit this Corinthians. Let me get there, blind. 1 Corinthians chapter 10. Start at 1.
1 Corinthians 10, verse 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea.
Look, is that again? We in Corinthians now, Paul talking about passing through. Let's look up the pass through in the Greek. Let's see what it takes us to. Let's see what it says. Let's just look it up.
Yeah.
It says, moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant of how that all our fathers were under the cloud and all passed through the sea. We all passed through this sea. What was significant about us passing through this sea? What was the spiritual meaning about this? It's connected to your name. Hebrew, abar. But abar is connected to baptism. Crossing over. Being above, not as below. Because we're from above. Hebrew means the one from above. This is what it is, what it means. Abar, ayan, bet, resh, yod. Come on with it. A bari. So we see the significance of crossing over. We see the significance of being a Hebrew Israelite. We see how we was baptized by not even being touched by water. We see that being a Hebrew is directly connected to the baptism. Directly connected to it. Come on, Hebrew.
1 Corinthians, I'm going to start off back over at 1.
So we back in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 1. Let's get it.
Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea.
You see that? All passed through the sea. A Bari, Hebrew. Come on.
And were all baptized unto Moshe in the cloud and in the sea.
You hear that? So Hebrew is directly connected to baptism. That name is directly connected to being reborn again. Being reborn, being above, because we're ones from beyond. We're ones from above, beyond, not as below. Hebrew. So it's time for you to start living out the characteristics of the authority of the name of your heritage, which is Hebrew Israelite. Come on.
And were all baptized unto Moshe in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat.
You hear that? That's what?
And did eat all the same spiritual meat.
So now we have a spiritual meat again. Come on.
And did all drink the same spiritual drink.
Spiritual water. You drinking spiritual water, you eating spiritual meat, and you had a spiritual baptism. But you claiming earthly things. We beyond. I'm not finna limit myself to this physical body. I'm not limiting myself to this physical earth, because we see everything about us is spiritual, because we are spiritual people, because we are Hebrews, Hebrew Israelites. Come on.
For they drank of the spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ.
See that? And Christ passed through with us, because he's a Hebrew. That's why he passed through and taught. Come on.
But with many of them, Yahweh was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. Now these things were our example, to the intent we should not lust after evil things.
You hear that? So he overthrew them in the wilderness. Why did he overthrow them in the wilderness? Because he just saved them from passing through, being Hebrews, Israelites. He saved them. They passed through the Red Sea. After they was murmuring and complaining and doubting Moses and doubting the faith and doubting the power of the Lord. So then they get to the wilderness. As we passing through the wilderness, they doing the same thing. So at this point, they're not living the full potential of the name that's attached to their heritage. You're not a Hebrew by the Spirit at this point. You're a Hebrew just by blood, and that don't mean nothing. Don't mean you being a Hebrew Israelite by blood don't mean anything to God, because when you die, if you just by blood, but you taking on all these worldly things, guess what? You're not inheriting the new kingdom. So now you're not even a Hebrew at this point, period. You're the wicked one. You're burning forever. So you see that you have to attain this spiritually. Come on.
As they also lusted. Neither be ye idolaters.
You hear that? So you can't be lusting. Lusting is of the world. You lust for worldly things. You lust for women. Women is of the world. That's a fornication. You know what I'm saying? Just out doing things that you ain't supposed to be doing. You're leading with the wrong head. You lust for cars. You lust for food, to be filled, gluttony, greedy, lustful things that's not of the heavens but of this world. You lust for the kingdom. We lust to get back home. That's what we lust to do. We want to go back home.
That's right.
Because we not from here. We're not from here. We're the ones from beyond. Hebrew, Abari, Ibri, Eber, Hebrew Israelite. The prince of the power who are from beyond. That is your name. That is your heritage. Live up to it.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Verse 7. As were some of them, as it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink.
Verse 7?
Yeah.
Start over again.
Neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them. As it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink, and rose up to play.
You did, and rose up to play. Idolaters. So you a spiritual person. You drinking a spiritual water. You eating a spiritual meat. You had a spiritual baptism, but then you will bow down to a physical idol. It's an illness, a mental illness. Don't even make sense. You're not even from here, but you giving praises to things that are from here. You're above and beyond this, but you bowing down and stooping low to frequencies that's of the earth. But we want to bang quick. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Okay, and Negro, what that mean? What are you doing with it? It's like having a degree in social studies and histories, but you working at an automotive shop. So what are you going to school for? What is that title and degree? What are you doing with it? Nothing. So don't mention it to me.
Yeah.
Don't even mention it to me. And don't mention it to the power. Because on Judgment Day, he ain't going to be worried about whether you Hebrew or not. He going to be like, hey, did you keep my commandments? And was you faithful? And did you believe in my son? He ain't going to ask you nothing about no Hebrew. Now, he going to judge you according to you being a Hebrew by the blood. Huh? But ain't finna be asking, did you know who you were? We all know who you are. He said it. We was going to wake up in the last days. We get that. What are you doing with it now?
Yes.
Huh? Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 8. Neither let us commit fornication.
Which is of the world. Huh? Idolatry is of the world. Fornication is of the world. Come on.
As some of them committed, and fell in one day, 320,000.
You that 320,000. The Most High will put you down for going against his word. He is not playing out here. Huh? He will put you down. And there's nothing like dying in your physical body being a physical person. Whew, you can't die with them lust and fornication. You can't die with that stuff on your jacket, bruh. You down with all these sins on your jacket? Come on now. Y'all better get it together. When you transcend and you leave this vehicle here and you go back home, you better make sure you in good graces with the Lord.
Yes, sir.
Because remember, we got to go back from whence we came. And it's a judgment waiting on us. What did you do when you was inheriting that physical vehicle? Huh? Remember, you're a spiritual being having a human experience. What did you do when you had this human experience? Did you wake the other nations up? Because these are physical people. He like, did you wake your physical people up? Did you teach them a part of the spirituality? Did you show them how to drink spiritual water? Did you show them how to eat spiritual bread and meat? Or was you too busy eating and filling yourself up with physical meat and physical women, physical drink? You was overindulging in sin, lust, fornication, idolatry, not being a Hebrew. Sinning with that very Hebrew in your blood. Sinning. Sinning being of this world with that spiritual Hebrew blood in your body. Huh? Better get it together. Come on.
Neither let us tempt Christ, as some of them also tempted, and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured, and were destroyed of the destroyer.
Come on.
Now all these things happened unto them for examples, and they were written for our admonish, upon whom the ends of the world are come.
You heard that? Admonish. Admonish means instructions. For him, the world is finna come. The world is coming to an end. But we not of the world, so we can care less about that. You know what I'm saying? Like nuclear hellfire, like I said before, nuclear hellfire can come destroy all this right now. And I'm going to be like, hallelujah.
Yes, sir.
All praises. You know what I'm saying? Long live the king.
Yes, sir. Yahoo.
Hey, come get me. You like the song we were singing, that sweet, low, sweet chariot coming forth to carry me home. Because I'm not from here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be of this. I'm not comfortable here. All this wither away. This is moth, worm, and rust food. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm Hebrew. I'm Hebrew Israelite. I'm one from beyond. I'm from above. Come on.
Wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. Verse 13. There has no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able.
You hear that? He's saying, look, all of these temptations is known common to man. This been happening way before you even came in the flesh by your ancestors. He like, they laid down the groundwork. You seen what Paul and them did. You seen the destruction of your forefathers when they was off, and they wasn't living out the authority and the full potentials of the characteristics of their inherit name. It says you have the blueprint. You know exactly what not to do. If you see your brother go rob a store and he get 20 years, why the hell would you go rob the store? Makes no sense. Huh? That's why we'll be without excuse. Come on.
But will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. Verse 14. Wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry.
Which is a worldly thing. You are from beyond. You see it, he said, my beloved. He called you his brother, meaning you are a Hebrew. He said, flee from this worldly stuff. Live by your inherited name, Hebrew, which means to cross over, which means one from beyond, which means to pass through. We just Hebrew passing through, which means stranger, which means sojourner, which means alien, Elyon, the exiled ones, the rejected ones. Huh? The remnant. Finish that verse off and we're going to jump.
That was it, verse 14.
Read 15.
15. I speak as to the wise men. Judge ye what I say.
All right, come on. We're going to go to 11. Hebrews 11. Let's go to Hebrews 11. Did we look up the word pass through in 1 Corinthians? Let's look it up just in case. The word pass through.
In Corinthians, it's separated as pass and then through.
Okay.
There's two different words.
Let's look up both of them then.
Okay. Pass is der come ai.
Pass is der come, ae. To go through, to pass through, to go, to walk, to journey, to pass through. Let's look up the actual, it says traverse, come, depart, go, abroad, everywhere, through, throughout, pass through, by, through, throughout, to walk, to pass through, to walk in righteousness, huh? Let's see the word through. Through is day, the A, through, place. Let's get the Hebrews. G1223. It says to composition, to remain the same, general, after, always, among, at, avoid, because, briefing, by, or to cause, by reason, or forsake, through, to go through, wherefore, composition. It said it retails the same general import. So to pass through, to pass by. All right, let's get it. So now we in Hebrews 11. Get that Hebrews up one time for the one time.
You got it right here.
Let me get through real quick. Hebrews 11. Now remember, the name of this is the spiritual meaning of the Hebrew word Hebrew. So we got to get to the spiritual aspect of it, because we see the physical side and we see that's not doing nothing for us. Because we see a lot of spiritual Hebrews knowing who they is, still sinning and falling to idolatry, adultery, breaking these commandments. We see that.
Yes, sir.
But we're from above, but we doing below things. That is off. That's off. Come on, Hebrews 11. We're gonna start at we're just gonna start at 1, and we're gonna read it all the way through 29.
All right. Hebrews 11. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report.
You hear that? So you obtain a good report by faith. Remember, faith is directly connected to Hebrew. That's why his name was what? Abraham the Hebrew. Huh? Abraham the Hebrew. He got his name through faith. That's the actual authority and the characteristic of the name Hebrew. It's faith, and faith without works, which is passing through or crossing over, is dead. Huh? We once was in darkness, but we crossed over and passed through and came into the marvelous light. We once was being in hard bondage, getting ready to get killed in Egypt, but passed through the Red Sea. To go through the wilderness, pass through the wilderness to see the promised land. Abraham passed through or crossed over the rivers of Euphrates. Like whenever you see a bar or a bari, it means you're coming from one place, but you're going to another destination. But this destination and this whole walking through is with purpose, and the whole passing through and crossing over is done through righteousness. Hebrew, a bari. And remember, everything has to do with the head. Every letter that's attached to that Hebrew word have to do with your head, where your conscience, your brain, your soul dwells. Come on.
Verse 3. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yahweh.
Who was the word of God?
Christ.
Yes, that's how the world was framed. That's how the foundations of the world was established. Come on.
So that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear.
You hear that? Things are seen is not made of things which do appear. You have a spiritual world and a physical world. And guess what we come from? The spiritual world. That's why the spiritual world. That's why your name is what? Hebrew Israelite. Prince of the power, the one that's from beyond. We're from above, not as below. Come on.
By faith, Abel offered unto Yahweh a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, Yahweh testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaketh.
Come on.
By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because Yahweh had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony, that he pleased Yahweh.
You hear that? Enoch, he passed through. He passed through on him real quick, didn't he? He came and he left. And straight up. He's just a Hebrew passing through. That's how I'm trying to be. I'm just trying to pass through this dip. I'm in and I'm out. I'm here, I'm finna get my, you know what I'm saying? I'm building up my spiritual coins. I'm taking them to the bank. The bank is the kingdom.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm working hard. I got the faith. I got the belief. Now I'm working hard. I need to build up my bank account for the heavens, not for earth. That bank account probably past due and overdrafted right now, my physical one. But hey, my spiritual bank, you know what I'm saying? I'm adding up ducats. Come on.
But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is.
Ooh, must what?
Must believe that he is.
Must believe that he is. His name is Yahweh, God of the what? Hebrews. You gotta believe that.
Yes, sir.
You gotta believe that. Then believe in the name that he connected to you, which is your inheritance, Hebrew Israelite. Which is what? The prince of the power of the ones who what? Are from beyond. So why are you acting worldly? Why are you in the world? Why are you doing all these wicked things? Why are you sinning? Why are you breaking the laws? The laws is established inside the house, the temple. The temple is a part of you. You are the body of Christ. The temple is your head. Huh? Why are you still sinning? When you are Hebrew by mindset. You're supposed to be Hebrew by mindset. Everything we read about Hebrew. Everything we read about. Got the wrong way. Everything we read about this name had everything to do with your head. So why are you being all physical? It's a conscious thing. This is a spiritual thing. Come on.
By faith. Okay, let me start back at 6. But without faith, it's impossible to please him.
You can't please God without faith. You can't be no Hebrew and you lack faith. You're Hebrew by blood, but you're not it spiritually. So, like I said, I ain't trying to hear it. Don't be saying you a Hebrew and you ain't got the faith. You're not no Hebrew. You just got Hebrew blood in your body. That's it. But hey, you ain't inheriting nothing. You get the lake of fire in death time. On judgment, people like that get the lake of fire. You're not a Hebrew at this point. You're just, you called what? Fire fuel?
Fire for the full, fire and brimstone for you.
That's it. I'm gonna start calling you Lil Branch. Branches for the fire. Come on.
For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
That diligently seek him. You constantly on the move. You constantly seeking wisdom. You constantly drawing out the wisdom through that will. You constantly keeping his commandments. You constantly trying to better yourself. You're constantly trying to pass through this world and get to your crib, your kingdom, the kingdom to come. Hebrew. Israelite, a bari, a bar, to cross over, to pass through, to sojourn, to be a stranger, to be an alien, el elyon, to be set apart, to be holy, completely devoted to one's deity, separate. Yeah, alien. We have nothing to do with that. They supposed to look at this and be like, man, them niggas is different. Yeah, good. I'm a Hebrew.
Yes, sir.
I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Good. I'm glad you noticed.
Yes, sir.
They weren't French. Why is they wearing that? Good, we different. We don't dress like y'all. We don't talk like y'all. We damn sure don't eat like y'all. Our diet's different. We follow a dietary law. Y'all eat what y'all want to eat because y'all not Hebrews. We Hebrews spiritually. That come with spiritual laws. The law became spiritual. Shaul said it all throughout his writings. That's in your mind. The tables of your heart. The law is inwardly. The fringe is on your heart. That's how you remember the commandments. The commandments is directly attached to the authorities of the characteristics of your inherited name, which is Hebrew. Israelite. Come on.
By faith, Noah, being warned of Yahweh of things not yet seen, of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the savings of his house, by which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith.
Come on.
By faith, Abraham, when he was called
by faith, Abraham. Notice his name ain't the same no more. It's not Abram. He listened. It was counted to him as righteous. Now it's Abraham. Now it's exalted father of many. Now, we're direct a product of his faith. Because, man, hey, Jacob, we don't die, we multiply. It's so many of us on the world, we outnumber the stars, just like he said it was. Just like he said it'd be if Abraham got up and crossed over and went to the land of Canaan and found the promised land. So we see that the Most High don't lie. We see that the exact name that he have us attached to means something spiritually, and how it's directly connected to baptism, spiritual baptism, and faith. Crossing over, being reborn again, being washed of sin, washing this dirt off, like I was talking about. We walking through the world going back to where we came from. Of course, you're going to pick up scars and dirts and scuffles, but hey, we got to wash that off. Got to be washed off. We not dirty Hebrews. Can't be a dirty Hebrew. Come on.
by faith Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance.
Receive for what?
Receive for an inheritance.
Inheritance. What do you inherit? You inherit a name, a language, a land, a God, and a culture. And guess what it's all called? Hebrew Israelite. Come on now. You can't make this up. You can't make it up. But you got to act and go forth that inheritance. They got money in the bank right now for you. If you don't go cash a check, then where the money going to go? It's going to sit. Or and somebody else going to get it. But it ain't going to go to you. You got to go get that check and cash it into the kingdom bank. You got to get that check. Everybody say they chasing a check. Yeah, you better chase that check. But the money better be laid up for the kingdom of heaven. It better not be no check out here. They ain't gonna get you nothing but a heart attack and stroke for stressing because you chased the check and the physical and it don't never be enough to pay all your bills. I'm telling you. So we gotta start saving up that spiritual money because we are spiritual people. And guess what the name of our inheritance is? Hebrew, Israelite. And we inherit the kingdom and we dwell and we reign forever with Elohim, Elyon, alien. We're not from here. We're not from here. Come on. Oh yeah, you gonna check it real quick.
By faith Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should, after receive for an inheritance, obey.
He what?
Obey.
He what?
Obey.
Obeyed and what?
And he went out.
He went out. Come on.
Not knowing whither he went.
Not knowing whether he went. Go check that real quick. So we see that he hearkened, he listened. Soon as the Most High told him to do what he had to do, he kept it pushing. He like, hey, you right, you right. Well, what was it on?
22.
All right, cool. That's a good time, good time. So we see that Abraham is actually listening. That's where he get his righteousness there because he had faith and then he passed through. Come on, verse 9.
By faith he sojourned.
By faith he what?
By faith he sojourned.
He what?
He sojourned.
Let's look up this word sojourn. By faith he sojourned. Huh? He sojourned. What do that mean? By faith Abraham sojourned. Let's see what that means, Bon.
Gotcha.
Remember, the name of this lesson is the meaning, the spiritual meaning of the Hebrew word Hebrew. We all use that word loosely. Find out that we Hebrews and don't even really understand what it is spiritually. We know what it is physically, but when it comes to the spiritual realm, we be absent-minded. We don't know what it really means. So it causes you to still be sinning, thinking you're going to get the kingdom, when scripture say something totally different. Something totally different.
Strong light G3939. Pario Ko.
Yep.
To dwell beside one or in one's neighborhood.
You
to
hear that?
live near.
To live near, to dwell in. Meaning you not what? You not from there, you just sojourning. It's like somebody coming over to spend a night. You know what I'm saying? You a guest here, but you don't stay here. You're not from here. Just a guest here. You just passing through. We all got the auntie or cousin that couldn't pay the bills. They need somewhere to stay for a little while. That's called sojourning. This is not your place as residence though. You ain't finna put your name on this. My name is on the occupancy permit, not yours. So you just sojourning here. But once you get it together, once you get your stuff together, you get your job back and you start working and cashing checks into the kingdom bank, then guess what? You get to go back home. Come on.
The second one is in the New Testament, to be or dwell in a place as a stranger.
As a what?
As a stranger.
As a stranger. We not from here. We sojourn through earth. We're not from here. Huh? The paradise, the Garden of Eden was in a different dimension. It was not on earth, it was in earth. How you think when in the book of Adam and Eve, when Michael, one of the archangels, took his sword and stuck it in the rivers, he froze off that dimension. Showing you it was a mustard cloud that came down. He used to look at Adam and Kawhi used to look up to the heavens and see the Most High, Christ and the angels pray to the Most High. This was in a different dimension. That's why it says he kicked them out of the garden onto earth. Onto earth. So even Adam had to what? Pass through. He was in a paradise. He was in a totally different dimension. He sinned. And then he had to pass through earth. He had to pass through to go back to paradise. Just the same thing we have to do. We got to pass through. Come on.
Verse 9. By faith he sojourned in a land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise.
Of the what?
Of the same promise.
Israelites, huh? Come on.
For he looked for a city which hath foundations, whose builder and maker is Yahweh.
Is what?
Is Yahweh.
He looked for a city that was built by God, a spiritual house, a spiritual dwelling place, a spiritual temple. And once you get to this point, there's no more sojourning. We're not strangers anymore. I'm home. Pops, I'm at the crib. I'm back home. We ain't sojourning no more. We're not strangers at Elion no more. We're not aliens no more. We back with our Father. Father know his sons. We're not strangers anymore. We strangers around here because our Father was in us, but he's not amongst this stuff. He's within us. Christ is within us. Yahweh is within us. Yahweh is within us. It ain't amongst this stuff from this materialistic evil world that was given over to the hands of the wickedness. So again, we're just Hebrews passing through. Abri, from beyond. Ones from beyond. We cross over. We pass through. We're strangers. We dwell. We don't reside. We don't stay. We don't stake residence. This is not our world to do so. We waiting on the kingdom to come. That's right. Our home.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Through faith also, Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithfully who had promised.
See how this faith is directly connected to passing through. You're getting over something. You passed through something. You was at one state, you passed through and came to another state all by your faith. Hebrew. Come on.
Therefore sprang there even of one, and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in multitude, and as the sand which is by the seashore innumerable.
Ain't that what happened? Like if you pull out a whole idolized salt can, we 10 times more than that. You can count every star in the sky. We're more than that. So we see by the faith of that Hebrew one that was from beyond, called Abraham, he actually became the father of many, the exalted father of many. It's a whole bosom named after him. If you gonna go to the kingdom of God, when you die, you reside in Abraham's bosom. That's now right. Look, we gonna go here though, but in Luke, in Abraham's bosom, and then the lake of fire, it's a gulf between that. And you have to pass through that to get to the kingdom. We're going to read it. So even once you beyond the grave, you still got to do some passing through to get back home.
Yes, sir.
We're going to read that. Come on.
These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth.
You can't read that fast. Let's slow that back up. What did we confess? That we were what?
And confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth.
We were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. They confessed, hey, look, we was never from that place.
Nah, man.
Let's look these words up. We was just strangers and pilgrims. We was just Hebrews passing through. We was never from that place.
You want strangers?
Yeah, let's do strangers first. Then we hit pilgrims next.
Xenos.
Let me get some water.
Xenos.
Let's say Exenos.
Exenos A foreigner.
Read the actual numbers though.
Okay. Strong Light G3581. A foreigner. A stranger.
Hey, who? A foreigner, a stranger.
Alien.
Hey, who?
Alien.
Look, a alien. Y'all think I be playing? I don't be playing alien. Look, they died. They looking down. They like, man, we was always aliens of that thing anyway. We not from Earth. We Hebrews passing through. We're one from beyond, a bar to cross over, to pass through, to dwell for a minute. We keep it pushing, We're strangers. Alien. Elyon. Elyon is a Hebrew word too, y'all. Look it up. Elyon. Alien. And it's funny how they do a lot of words that's directly connected to the word what they really trying to say. They've been telling us that we aliens. That's why according to the constitutional law, you're not a US citizen because we're not from here. We're foreigners of the earth. Of the whole entire planet, we're foreigners. We're strangers to the whole entire planet. Everybody have a dwelling place. Everybody have a place of residence but the Negro. They tell the so-called Mexicans, the new ones, not the ones that's from Israel, but them, you know what I'm saying, the ones that's been mixed and mingled. They tell them to go back to their land. Go back to your land. And they go back. Trump deporting everybody. The Iranians, go back to your land. We don't have a land to go back to. Ours is coming. The New Jerusalem is coming to earth. We're from outer space, man. He just said it's strangers. Come on.
Without the knowledge of, without a share in, new, unheard of, one who receives and entertains another hospitable.
Boy, I'm telling you. Come on, now let's look at the word pilgrim. So we just told you stranger, foreigner, alien. Let's look up the word pilgrim. And then we're going to reread 13 again.
Pilgrim. G3927. Par ep.
It says par ep diamas. Par ep diamas.
Par ep diamas. One who comes from a foreign country.
You hear that? We come from a foreign country. Our country ain't on earth though. Our country is in the heavens. We come from the New Jerusalem. We come from paradise. That's the country we talking about. That's the homeland, the promised land, the land of God we trying to get to.
Into a city or land to reside there by the size of the natives.
Come on.
A stranger.
Hey, who?
A stranger.
There go that strange word again. And remember, we're speaking spiritually. This whole lesson, we're talking about it spiritually. Yeah. Come on.
Sojourning in a strange place, a foreigner, in the New Testament, metaphorically, in reference to heaven as...
Hold on. Read that again and read it slow. You see that metaphorically? We spiritually. Even they understood that.
In the New Testament, metaphorically, in reference to heaven as the native country.
Wow. Come on, man. Can't make this up, man.
One who sojourns on earth.
On earth. Hold on, read it again one more time. Come on, man.
In the New Testament, metaphorically, in reference to heaven as a native country. One who sojourns on earth.
We're not from here. We're from beyond. Hebrew, a bar.
That's right.
A bari, one from beyond. So quit coming at me with worldly problems.
Yeah.
We don't care about this stuff, man. We care about that's white folks' business. Straight up, no, that's real. But that's not the Hebrew Israelites' business.
Yeah.
We're the prince of the power, ones from beyond. That's what we are. That's what it always will be. If you continue to think about that and walk in the attributes of the authority of the characteristics of your inherited name, which is Hebrew Israelite. You see how spiritual it is and what it really means? Come on.
For they that say such things...
No. So let's read 13 one more time.
Read 13 one more again.
Them daggers, man.
Yeah. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth.
On the earth. We not from here. Come on.
For they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country.
You hear that? We seek the country, but the country we're seeking was not on earth. We spiritual beings looking for a physical thing, not knowing we searching for something in a different dimension. That's why he said, yeah, all right, I'll go find the house of God, but it got to be built by who? God's hands.
Yes.
Huh? God's hands. That's how spiritual and how faithful we were, because we're not from here. Why you think the angels call us their brothers? Angels are not from earth. Angels are from where? Heaven. It all makes sense. Why you think God called us his son? God is not from earth. God created earth. God is not from the universe. He created the universe. He's above all things ever in existence. And we are his sons. We're not from earth.
That's right.
We're made up of earthly particles, but we're not from earth. You're a Hebrew Israelite. And like we can get scientifically in this and it'll blow your mind. But we ain't gonna even do that. We're gonna keep it straight scripture. Even though science is all through the scriptures, we're gonna keep it real simple today. But like scientifically, the particles that you made up with it'll blow your mind where they go and where they come from and how it goes back to stardust. And a lot of you're made of stardust. But the earth is made of stardust too. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll blow your mind. We are really spiritual people. We really are aliens. We don't come from here. And I'm not talking about an ET with big eyes and a big head and skinny bodies.
No, you ain't talking about that.
I ain't talking about, we don't look like no bubblehead weird people or nothing like that.
Till you want West.
You're right. Right.
That's all you see. They saying they from outer space.
They say they from outer space. No, one West. Remember, we speaking spiritually here.
Yes, sir.
Come on, bro.
Verse 15. And truly, if they had been mindful of that country.
Of what?
Mindful of that country.
Notice it's distinguishing that country from all. Why I won't say of the country or this country. It said of that country. That country was more spiritual than what we thought about. That country comes from the kingdom. Jerusalem is coming and descending from the heavens. A bride to the bridegroom. A marriage. Why you think marriage is so spiritual? Why you think laying with somebody else's wife is such a sin? Because it's Hebrew. It all goes back to a bar, breathe, to cross over. Come on.
Mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have had an opportunity to have returned.
Come on.
But now they desire a better country.
They what?
They desire a better country.
They desire a better country. What country is better than the country that he told us to go dwell in? Let's read about it. Come on.
That is, and heavenly, wherefore Yahweh is not ashamed to be called their Yah.
You hear that? Our country, our state is in the heavens, a heavenly country. We not making this up. We reading from the book.
Yeah, that's right.
Come on.
For he hath prepared for them a city.
He had what? Prepared for us a what?
A city.
A city of houses made of many mansions, streets of gold, milk and honey, the tree of life. I'm talking about fruits innumerable. You can eat any fruit. We drink wine. That can't. I don't see that here on earth. I see it coming to earth, but I don't see that here.
Nah.
Meaning we're not from here. Hebrew, a bar, to cross over. Stranger, alien, el yon, to pass through, to be baptized, to be as above, not as below, to be crossing over from the dark to the light. A bari, Hebrew Israelite, meaning the prince of the power, one who is from beyond.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
By faith, Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac, and he that had received the promises offered up his only begotten son,
Come on.
of whom it was said that in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
You hear that? And in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Come on.
Accounting that Yahweh was able to raise him up, even from the dead, from whence also he received him in a figure. By faith, Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. By faith, Jacob, when he was a dying, blessed both the sons of Joseph and worshiped, leaning upon the top of his staff. By faith, Joseph, when he died, made mention of the departing of the children of Israel, and gave commandment concerning his bones.
We can stop right there. Let's jump. Let's go to 1 Peter. 1 Peter 1:8. 1 Peter 1:8. Y'all literally flipping a couple pages. Get through James. Bang. 1 Peter. 1. Yeah, 1 Peter. We're gonna start at 1:8. Matter of fact,
that was
1 through 8. Start at 1.
Okay, yeah. Peter, an apostle of Yahushua of Christ, to the strangers scattered throughout.
There it go again. Let's read that one. Let's read that slow for them, man. That's what I'm saying, man.
For the listening audience.
We not making this up. We not making this up.
Peter, an apostle of Yahushua the Christ, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia,
Yeah.
Asia, and Bithynia.
Now, Pete, so he's talking about Hebrews that are scattered through all these different countries. But notice what he called them. He called them what? Strangers scattered. He said, Peter, an apostle of Yahushua HaMashiach, to the strangers scattered basically abroad. He's talking to the strangers of the earth. Who are the strangers of the earth? The Hebrews, the Hebrew Israelites. We ain't making this up. Come on.
Elect according to the foreknowledge of Yahweh.
Now look, he called these same strangers elected. The elected ones. The strangers. The elected strangers. Come on.
Elect according to the foreknowledge of Yahweh, the Abba, through sanctification of the Spirit.
Through the cleansing of the Spirit. So he's talking about the ones that was baptized in the wilderness, the ones that was baptized by the water getting touched, the ones that crossed over from what? The dark to the light, that came spiritually, became sons of Elohim. Huh? Alien, El Elyon. Strangers, sojourners. He's talking to the Hebrew Israelites. Come on.
Unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Yahushua the Christ. Grace unto you and peace be multiplied.
Come on.
Blessed be the Lord. Blessed be God and Father of our Lord Yahushua the Christ, which according to his abundant mercy have begotten us again unto a lively hope by the resurrection of Yahushua HaMashiach.
See, by the resurrection. And by his resurrection, the same Spirit will come over the Hebrews that are Hebrews by Spirit and be resurrected. And they get to go to their crib, their house. Come on.
From the dead to an inheritance.
To what?
From the dead to an inheritance.
Notice that word inheritance again. Now, what is your inheritance? What is the name of your inheritance? Hebrew Israelite. That's why I keep saying we have to do what? Exercise the characteristics of the authority of the name of your inheritance. I done said this like 20 times. That's why I keep saying inheritance, because the name that's directly connected to your inheritance is who you are. Which is your inheritance? Is what? A land, a language, a God, a culture. Huh? Hebrew Israelite. You speak Hebrew. You're from the land of the Hebrews. You are a Hebrew by blood. You worship a Hebrew God, which is the God of the Hebrews. Everything that's in correlation with us is what? Hebrew. A Bari or Ibri. Hebrew, to cross over, to pass through, to sojourn, to be a stranger, to dwell, to be an alien, to be baptized, to have faith, to be as above, not as below. A journey, a path, and that path is straight and narrow. Come on.
Verse 4. To an inheritance incorruptible.
And what? Incorruptible. Whew, come on.
And undefiled.
And what? Undefiled. Can't nobody mess with this inheritance no more. You know how they made us forget our inheritance, stole our identity?
Yeah.
Nah. This can't be tampered with right here. Incorruptible and undefiled. Come on.
And that fadeth not away. Reserved in heaven for you.
Hold on. Read too fast, man. Reserved. Where is this reserved at?
Reserved in heaven for you.
See, this inheritance, this Hebrew, this spiritual name is reserved in the kingdom, in heaven. Because what? We're not from earth. I don't know how many times I got to say this. Go check the cameras and see what time we on. So we see that our estate, our real estate. Notice they call it real estate. What was it on? 21. All right. Our real estate is in the kingdom. In the kingdom. With Yahweh Hashem HaMashiach Yahushua. That's where we reside at. That's where our residence will take place. But the kingdom will come to earth. Come on.
Okay.
Verse 5.
Who are kept by the power of Yahweh through faith unto salvation.
Through faith unto Christ. Come on.
Ready to be revealed in the last time.
Let's get it.
Wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations.
Come on.
that the trials of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perishes.
You hear that? The trial of our faith, because your faith lines up with your name, with the Hebrew. Notice it's attached. We just read it in Hebrews 11. It's attached to every Hebrew Israelite. So once they get tried, they trying you with worldly things. But remember, you are a spiritual being. You have to overcome it. You have to not doubt. You have to keep the faith in Yahweh Ba'Hashem or Mashiach Yahweh Shah. Because you are a Hebrew. Your name, you can't even call yourself a Hebrew if you lack faith.
That's right.
Because the meaning of that name is directly connected to faith and baptism. One from beyond. Faith comes from above, not as below. So I'm saying, when you get down to the science of these Hebrew letters, man, they mean so much. Every word means something. So don't just be calling yourself a Hebrew and you not living like one. Flat out.
Yeah, that's what we talking about.
Yeah, straight up. Come on.
Though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach.
Come on, one more verse.
Whom having not seen, yea, love, in whom, though now ye see him not, yet believing, ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory.
I'm telling you now. Come on, let's jump. We're gonna skip a chapter. Let's go to 1 Peter 2. Let's start at 9. Read 9 through 17.
1 Peter 2,
Yep.
9 through 17.
9 through 17, brother. Let's get it.
But ye are a chosen generation.
So we are what?
A chosen generation.
Come on.
A royal priesthood.
A royal priesthood. Royal. This priesthood is royal. And guess who is our high priest? Christ, after the order of MELCHIZEDEK.
That's right.
King of the what? Hebrews. Come on.
And holy nation. A peculiar people.
You're that a holy nation, a set apart, a stranger, set apart, completely devoted to one's deity. A holy nation. This nation supposed to be set apart. This nation supposed to be strangers in lands. We not part of this land. We're strangers. We aliens. We just passing through. Hebrews passing through. Come on.
A peculiar people.
A special people. These people are not like everybody else. They're Hebrews. They're from above. The one from above. They just crossing over. They just passing through. They a Bari, Yisraeli, Hebrew Israelites, which means the prince of the power of ones who are from above. You know, that's what we are. We're not from here. We see it all through these letters. Come on.
That ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness.
Now look, peep this passing over, this crossover. He called us out of darkness, meaning we are in darkness, but what? Come on.
Excuse me. For the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness.
So we in darkness, come on.
Into his marvelous light.
Into his marvelous light. That's crossing over, passing through. Set apart, holy. Notice all these words. Start looking them up. Get the definition. It's talking about passing through. Hebrew, a bar. Come on.
Which in times past were not a people, but are now the people of Yahweh.
Ooh, come on.
Which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy.
Come on.
Dearly beloved.
Dearly beloved. Call us beloved. Whenever you hear beloved, it means you're a brother or a sister. Dearly beloved. Remember, this is written by a Hebrew, which make you a what? Hebrew. Come on.
I beseech you as strangers. Here we go.
Here we go again. He beseech us as what?
As strangers.
And what else?
And pilgrims.
Come on.
Abstain from fleshly lusts.
It's like, look, he said, look, I'm telling you that you are a stranger and a pilgrim. We just look up these words. We don't need to look them up no more. He said that you are an alien. You are not from earth. You're a pilgrim. You are not from the earth. You're from a heavenly estate. He said, knowing that I'm telling you this, don't give over to lustly flesh, because that shit is of the world. And you're not of the world. So why are you giving yourself into worldly things when you're not an earthly being? You're above it. We come from the heavens. Now we got to fight to get back to the heavens.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Which war against the soul.
Which war against what?
Which war against the soul.
Which war against who you really are. The soul don't come from earth. It says that he breathed into the nostrils of Adam, and Adam became a living soul.
Yes, sir.
So before he was a living soul, he still was a soul. Peep that. He still was a soul. We was chosen before the foundation of the world. You know what makes up the Ruach, the spirit, Neshama, the breath? Do we realize Nefesh, the soul? Solids, liquids, and gases. Just look up the definitions. Gas. Where is these solids, liquids, and gas starts from that create matter, which is really antimatter? These things are in the galaxies above, not below. Huh? And look, let's not act like space is not, like Earth is not outer space. Let's not act like that. We're part of a whole solar system. We act like Earth is sitting on a table somewhere like this is Earth. Nah, player. Earth is outer space. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 12. Having your conversation honest among the Gentiles.
Honest amongst the Gentiles. Come on.
That whereas they speak against you as evildoers, they may be your good works, which they shall behold. Glorify Yahweh in the day of visitation.
Come on.
Submit yourselves to every ordinance of man for the Lord's sake, whether it be to the king as supreme, or unto governors.
Hold on. Unless it goes against the commandments of God.
Yes, sir.
Come on. Just had to put that out there.
Yeah, 'cause some of y'all simple.
Yeah, man.
Or unto governors, as unto them that are sent by him for the punishment of evildoers, and for the praises of them that do well.
Come on.
Verse 15. For so is the will of Yahweh, that with well-doing ye may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men.
Whew, come on.
As free, and not using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness, but as the servants of Yahweh.
And the servants of Yahweh is called Hebrew, because he's the God, the power of the what? Hebrews. We read that Exodus what? That's in Exodus 3 and 18. Come on.
Honor all men. Love the brotherhood.
Love the what?
Love the brotherhood.
Love the Hebrews.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody thinking, and we wonder why we so close. Hey, y'all always with your brothers. We building. We passing through.
Yeah.
You too busy trying to do everything else. We pass. I'm trying to stick with people that's passing through with me.
Yeah.
You trying to dwell here. You too comfortable. You want to get your hair did, weave in your hair, and you know what I'm saying? It goes to the man. The man want to go to the club, chase behind some females, trying to fulfill lust. But hey, we a select few brothers in the loo. We trying to pass through. We trying to cross over.
Yes, sir.
So that's why we tight like that. Nothing more, nothing less. We brothers. The brotherhood. Love the brotherhood. Because we passing through. You know what I'm saying? Picking up people. Hey, come on, let's roll. Wake up. Wake up, nigga. Let's go. Let's get up out of here. Straight up. Come on with it.
Fear Yahweh.
Who? Do what?
Fear Yahweh.
Fear Yahweh. Come on.
Honor the king.
Honor the king.
Servants, be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the forward.
You hear that? Be servants. Servants meaning actual students. You know what I'm saying? Being subjective to your master, meaning listen to your teacher. That's it. So we're going to drop that right here. Let's go to John. John 17. Let's keep it going. John 17. John 17 started at 11, brother. I'm there.
This is in red letters.
Hey, this is in the blood of Christ. Remember that blood? The Damu I was talking about, the Dam, which makes you a Hebrew by blood? Well, this was written with that same blood. Because the same blood that's in Christ is in you. So this is written with our blood, with Christ's blood. Christ spoke these things. The same blood that you was brought by is what we read. Come on. Hebrew.
And now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world, and I come to thee. Holy Abba, keep through thine own name those whom thou hast given me,
Come on.
that they may be one as we are.
Come on.
While I was with them in the world, I kept them in thy name.
Who? Come on.
Those that thou gavest me, I have kept, and none of them is lost.
You hear that? None of them is lost. So Christ is speaking from the tense as he passed through. He's back. He's back on the throne. He back in the crib where he resides at. So now he's speaking in past tense. When I was in the world, see, we hope that we can talk like that one day. Well, yeah, when I was passing through the world, when I was living out and fulfilling my name as being a Hebrew, you know, I did this and did that and these things and these suches. You know what I'm saying? Like how you talking right now. We hope that we can get to this point.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
But the son of perdition, that the scriptures might be fulfilled.
Come on.
And now come I to thee, and these things I speak in the world, that they might have my joy fulfilled in themselves.
Come on.
I have given them thy word, and the world hath hated them.
You hear that? The world hate us. You know why the world hates you, Negro? Because you not from here. You are alien. Huh? Why you think they got missiles pointed in outer space? Because they know some aliens is coming to invade this planet to set down a rightful dictatorship. It ain't no voting for Christ.
Nah, man.
The biggest army ever in existence is going to invade this planet. Where are they coming from? They coming from home. We're going back home. Well, guess what they doing though? They bring it home to earth.
Right here.
Right here. Our home is descending. Our home is coming here. But we're not from here. We're from there. Hebrew, Abari, which means what? The one from beyond. Come on.
Because they are not of the world.
Because they what?
Because they are not of the world. Even as I am not of the world.
Christ said it himself. He is not of this world. He is not from here. We ain't from here. So why are we acting like we are? It's a question you got to answer yourself. Why are you acting like you from here? Why is you letting the ways of the world stress you out? Huh? Come on.
I pray not thou should take them out of the world, but thou should keep them from the evil.
You hear that? Don't take them. Just keep them from the evil that's in this world. Keep them. Preserve them. Come on.
They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world.
You hear that? This is your big brother, your savior, your salvation saying it. They ain't of the world. I ain't of it either. We got the same blood. So Christ is telling you, you are a Elyon. You would just say Hebrew passing through. You are one from beyond, from above. Hebrew. Live out your name, man. Live it out.
Yes, sir.
Exercise the characteristics and the authority of your inheritance, which is the name Hebrew Israelite. The prince of the power of ones who are from beyond. Cross over, cross through, pass over. All these names are in the Bible. Stranger, alien, exile, the reject ones, the elect ones. The reject ones and the elect ones, the same thing. Because the world reject us, but God elect us. That kind of rhyme too.
Yeah.
Come on,
and do it without no fear, man.
Yeah. Hey, say that again.
Do it without no fear.
Yeah, like why is we worried about what the world think about us? Negro, we not from here. Of course we look weird. Of course we do things that's not in tempo and frequency with this vibration. We not from this vibration. We're Hebrews. We're from beyond. Of course, if they not looking at me wrong, I must be doing what they doing. They better be looking at me wrong and pointing the finger. They better be ready to kill me and slaughter me. That means I'm being completely myself, which is a Hebrew Israelite, one from beyond, a alien, a pilgrim, a stranger. Not a strange man, but a stranger man. Come on.
Verse 17.
Yeah, we're going to stop it right here too.
Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth.
Thy word is truth. And the word was manifested on the flesh. He came here, crossed through, became the flesh, then crossed back over. He passed over.
Yeah.
We doing the same thing. But it better be in righteousness. Because you're going to cross over regardless whether you want to or not. And it's either going to be into the abyss, which is the lake of fire, or into the kingdom of Yah. All right, let's go to Romans. Romans 12, 1 through 5. Romans 12, 1 through 5. We almost up out of here, y'all. Just laying some groundwork. Would you up? I'll check it. Romans 12, 1 through 5.
Yeah, we good.
We good? Oh, let me get there. Romans 12, 1 through 5. Let's get her done.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
You hear that? You have to present this a living sacrifice. It's a vehicle. It's not ours. You didn't make this vehicle. Come on.
Holy, acceptable unto Yahweh.
You hear that? Set apart, holy, set apart, stranger, completely devoted to one's deities, set apart, not like everybody else. Come on.
Which is your reasonable service.
Come on.
And be not conformed to this world.
Why can't we be conformed to this world? Because we are not of it. Come on.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
By the renewing of your mind, the baptism, the washing by the Spirit. Remember they went through the water and didn't get wet? When they was passing through the Red Sea? The baptism. Abraham crossing over the rivers? The baptism. The renewance of one mind. Hebrew. Come on.
That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh.
Come on.
For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think.
Straight up. Come on.
But to think soberly, according as God hath dealt to every man the measure of faith.
The who?
The measure of faith.
Faith going back to what? That Hebrew. Come on.
For as we have many members in one body,
Come on.
and all members have not the same office, so we, being many, are one body in Christ.
Or what?
Are one body in Christ, and every one member
One
of another.
Come on, let's keep it going. Hebrews 4 and 8. Hebrews 4 and 8. We're going to get into these lost books. We're going to get up out of here. Hebrews 4 and 8. Let's get it done.
For if Yahushua had given them rest, then would he not afterward have spoken of another day?
You hear that? So that's the reason why we never found rest. Because we can't rest till we get back home. We can't rest till we get back home.
Yeah, man.
Ain't no rest. We crossing through. How you gonna rest while you crossing through? You might get caught slipping. We passing through. Ain't no rest here. Why are y'all looking for rest here? Ain't no rest here. Only rest you get here is on the Shabbat day. On your solar 7th day Shabbat. Only time you get rest. And that's just peace of mind for a little while. Because guess what? 24 hours later, you back crossing. You back passing over. Huh? Now, if this was the dwelling place, the Most High in Christ didn't have to come speak. It wasn't no point in him manifesting in the flesh in the first place. Letting us know that we're nothing but sojourners. Letting us know that we're really strangers. We're pilgrims to this earth. Our rest is in the heavens. And the heaven will be the kingdom. And the kingdom will what? Come. So I just wanted to point that out. So let's go to Luke. Let's get to this abyss. Let's talk about it after you die. Let's go to Luke. Luke chapter 16. Luke chapter 16. Then we're gonna read a little bit about after death, and then we're gonna get up out of here. But I really need y'all to understand the spiritual meaning of the word Hebrew. The spiritual meaning. Luke 16. Let me find it real quick. My bad, y'all. Terry for your brother.
Okay, Yoab.
Shouts out to Yoab, man. That was a beautiful video you did, my brother. Beautiful video. Make sure y'all check that out. Let's see.
Soldiers.
Yeah, most definitely. Started 19. Wow, like you said. So we had Luke 16. We starting at 19. Let's get her done.
There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus.
There's a what?
Named Lazarus, beggar, which was laid at his gates, full of sores, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores.
Stop right there. All right, go ahead. Let's read it again.
And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom.
Carried by the angels to where?
Into Abraham's bosom.
So we see that the Abraham, which is the exalted father of many nations, the one that's from beyond, have his own bosom. This bosom is actually in a place. And this place, matter of fact, this place, it's four chambers inside this place. Can you read?
And carried it by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. And in hell he lift up his eyes.
And in hell what?
He lift up his eyes, being in torment, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. And he cried and said, Abba Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his fingers in water.
You hear that? So we see that they're separated. They're separated by something, right? Abraham is a part of his own chamber. He got his own bosom. But the rich man is in another part. He's yelling over, asking Abraham to ask Lazarus. He can just dip his finger in some water and give him some water. That's how hot he is. He's tormented. Come on.
That he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue. For I am tormented in these flames.
You heard that? He's tormented in these flames. Notice, judgment ain't came yet. So he's tormented as soon as he died. So yes, when you die, if you die wicked, you go immediately into torment. Come on.
But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. And besides all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf.
You hear that? Between us and you, there's a great gulf fixed. Huh? In order for you to get to me, you have to do what? Cross over, pass over. But you couldn't cross over and pass over because you were dying in wickedness. You were in wickedness. You lived in wickedness. You couldn't even feed the poor. Huh? You couldn't even give them the crumbs off your table. So now we see that the spiritual meaning crossover really means something. But we're going to get deeper into it. Come on.
So that they which would pass from hence to you cannot.
We'll do what?
So they that which would pass from hence to you cannot.
You can't pass. Ain't no passing through this abyss. Ain't no passing over. Ain't no passing over this gulf, this river of flames. Huh? Ain't no Hebrews going on right now. So we gotta watch that, because you can shame that Hebrew name by dying in your sin. So make sure you keep the commandments, because you won't pass over. You won't be in Abraham's bosom. And remember, go ahead and finish that off 26.
Neither can they pass to us that will come from thence.
That will come from thence. Now this is the book of Enoch. First book of Enoch. I'm in chapter 7. And start at verse 8. Now remember I was talking about them 4 chambers. We're going to speak on this just real quick and then we're going to keep it pushing. So,
then I asked regarding all the hollow places, why is one separate from the other?
So he's asking, Enoch is asking the angels, what's up with these 4 hollow places, these 4 chambers, and why they all separate from another? Well, remember we were just talking about the tormenting place, and we was just talking about Abraham's bosom, which is the place where you go if you go into heaven, but you got to chill in Abraham's bosom until judgment. Well, this is going in on it. Come on.
And he answered me saying, these 3 have been made that the spirits of the dead might be separated. And this division has been made for the spirits of righteous.
You hear that? So this first division is the spirits of righteous. These are the ones that go into Abraham's bosom. Come on.
In which there is a bright spring of water. And this has been made for sinners when they die and are buried in the earth, and judgment has not been executed upon them in their lifetime.
See, so first one you have Abraham's bosom, which is have light and a spring of water. That's spiritual water that we was talking about. So that's Abraham's bosom. You just waiting on the kingdom to come. You waiting to get your reward. Then the other place is a place of perdition. These for the ones that go immediately into torment when you die, because you died in sin. There is no crossing over. Remember, he said you can't pass or cross over and come to this. We're separated by a great abyss. We just read that in Luke 16. Well, now we seeing what he's talking about. Come on.
Here their spirits shall be set apart in this great pain.
Shall be what?
Be set apart in this great pain.
Set apart in this great pain. You're separate. You can't cross over into Abraham's bosom. Ain't no passing through. Ain't no Abri. Ain't no RB. Ain't no Hebrew. Ain't none of that. What's done is done. Come on.
To the great day of judgment.
To what?
To the great day of judgment. Scourgings and torments of the accursed forever. So that there may be retribution for their spirits.
You hear that? So there is no such thing as rest in peace if he done killed 5 people and died. He's tormented until the day he go to judgment to torment in the lake of fire forever. Now we see that abyss place, but we're going to read more on it. Just finish that last verse off.
There, for the spirits, there he shall bind them forever.
Yep, so now we're going to get into pseudepigraphy. We're going to talk about crossing over life after death. The pseudepigraphy, make sure y'all get y'all one. This is volume 1. We're going to book 511. Go to page 511. Start at chapter 4. And we're gonna read it all the way to. Chapter 10. They real small chapters. We're gonna get through it.
All right. Pseudepigraphy 511. Visions of yeah. These is the one I like.
Read it up loud too. Check this out, y'all.
Visions of ugly angels who carry off the souls of ungodly men. Then I walked with the angel of the Lord. I looked before me, and I saw a place there, thousands and myriads of angels entered through it,
So you see, we got a place where all these myriads of angels, and a myriad of angels consists of 10,000 angels. So you have millions of angels going through this one place. Come on.
Their faces were like a leopard.
You hear that? Come on.
Their tusks being outside their mouth like the wild boar.
So these are hideous angels. Angels is not like you think they is. They ain't no little white bald head babies with pampers on and wings. Now they hideous. They big. They're like, why do you think every time somebody saw them, they fell to their face?
Yeah.
An angel had to say, hey, get up. Chill out. I'm just your brother. Come on.
Their eyes were mixed with blood. Their hair was loose like the hair of a woman.
Come on.
And fiery scores were in their hands. When I saw them, I was afraid. I said to that angel who walked with me, of what sort are these?
Look, Enoch like, man, what kind, Zephaniah like, man, what kind of angels are these? He ain't never seen nothing like that in his life. Come on.
He said to me, these are the servants of all creation who come to the souls of ungodly men and bring them and lead them in this place.
You hear that? So now we talking about that place again. What we just was reading about, we talking about that place again. It's place of torment that you can't cross over. There's no more Hebrew going on nowhere. There's no more a Bari or a bar. There's no more of that. No more Hebrew Israelite. You're done. Done Dylan. Come on.
They spend 3 days going around with them in the air before they bring them and cast them into their eternal punishment.
Come on.
I said.
So now you know how many days it is before you actually go into punishment. It's 3 days. You know what I'm saying? And in these 3 days, you roam about in 7 ways of torment, of shame. And then the 3 days for the people in Abraham's bosom, they have 7 ways of rewards. And they see all the heavenlies. They see that they cashing their check in. They see what all the money they stored up for heaven, what it's going to get them, the lot they going to get, the inheritance they going to get. So it's the total opposite, but it's 3 days, a waiting period before the judgment. You get what I'm saying? From when you die. So this is how you know we don't understand time, because people died thousands of years ago, and the people that died today, you know what I'm saying, it still consists of 1 day, but 3 days from this 1 day is when your judgment comes from when you die. So we don't really have an understanding of time, because time tells us that as 1 day with the Lord is as 1,000 years. You know what I'm saying? So we don't even understand time, because time, once you're in the spiritual realm and time and space, there's no such thing as time. God is above time because he created it. Come on.
I said, I beseech you, O Lord, don't give them authority to come to me.
You hear that? Hey, look, Zephaniah like, hey, Lord, I get all that, right? But please don't have one of these angels come towards me. That's how hideous they was. Come on.
The angel said, don't fear. I will not permit them to come to you, because you are pure before the Lord.
You hear that? Whew, you are pure. You ain't got to worry. I'm just showing you these things, but they ain't coming to get you and to drag you off like that, like they dragged off these wicked men. Come on.
I will not permit them to come to you, because the Lord Almighty sent me to you, because you are pure before him.
Come on.
Then he beckoned to them, and they withdrew themselves, and they ran from me. Chapter 5. But I went with the angel of the Lord, and looked in front of me, and saw gates. Then when I approached them, I discovered that they were bronze gates. The angel touched them, and they opened before him. I entered with him, and found its whole square like a beautiful city, and I walked in its midst. Then the angel of the Lord transformed himself beside me in that place. Now I looked at them, and I discovered that they were bronze gates, and bronze bolts, and iron bars. Now my mouth was shut therein. I beheld the bronze gates in front of me, as fire was being cast forth for about 50 sadia.
You hear that? So now we see that it's prison houses with fires in them. Picture a prison house with fire. Come on.
Again, I turned back and walked, and I saw a great sea. But I thought that it was a...
You see that? He saw a great sea, or a great abyss. Now we starting to see how it's talking about in Luke chapter 16, what he was talking about, this abyss. He see prison cells full of fire. Remember, the rich man was saying he was hot. He was yelling over the abyss just to ask Abraham to tell Lazarus to dip his tongue in water. But when we read in Enoch, it says that in Abraham's bosom was light and weight. A spring gave living water. So he said, dip your tongue, your finger in there, and just put it on my tongue. Now we see this abyss again. So now we know that these things line up with scripture. Come on.
But I thought that it was a sea of water. I discovered that it was entirely a sea of flame.
You heard that? A sea of flames. He thought it was water. No, that's a sea. So the abyss is filled of what? Fire. Come on.
Like a slime which casts forth much flame, and whose waves burn sulfur and bitumen.
You hear that? That sounds like lava that comes from volcanoes. Slime, sulfur, bitumen. That sounds like a lava. That's how hot it is. You want to be in a place like that?
Nah, man, I'm cool.
Come on.
They began to approach me. Then I thought that the Lord Almighty had come to visit me.
You hear that? He like, oh man, I'm gonna have to go into this abyss.
It's a wrap.
His bowels probably loose. He probably on himself. Man, come on.
Then when I saw, I fell upon my face before him in order that I might worship him. I was very much afraid. And I entered him and I entreated him that he might save me from this distress.
Right.
I cried out saying, Elo, Lord, Adonai, Sabaoth.
You hear that? He's saying, Elo, Eloi, Elohim, Elohim, Lord. Adonai, Lord. Rich Robano, Lord. Sabaoth, King, Lord of hosts. He like, look, come get me. I don't want nothing to do with this. Because at this point, he realizing if he go down here, he can't do what? He can't cross over. He can't pass through. No more Hebrews going on. Come on.
I beseech you to save me from this distress, because it has befallen me. That same instant I stood up, and I saw a great angel before me. His hair was spread out like a lioness. His teeth were outside his mouth like a bear. His hair was spread out like woman's.
Can y'all picture something like that, man? I can't even imagine something like that. Come on.
His body was like the serpent's when he wished to swallow me. And when I saw him, I was afraid of him, so that all my parts of my body were loosened.
You heard
that? I fell upon my face.
What do that mean when all your parts of your body were loosened up and you fell on your face? Huh?
You need some Depends on.
Yeah, you need some Pampers on. Flat out. When your body relax, that's why when dead people relax, most of the time they fort and they boo-boo on themselves. When your body get loosened like that, your bowels loosen up too. Come on.
I was unable to stand, and I prayed before the Lord Almighty. You will save me from this distress. You are the one who saved Israel from the hand of Pharaoh.
You hear that? As soon as somebody in distress, they go straight back to the Hebrews. You saved the Hebrew Israelites from the hands of Pharaoh. You look, notice he going straight back when the Exodus, when he took them through the Red Sea. He's going back through the meaning of Hebrew. Why is that? Why is he recalling that? Because he understands the meaning of Hebrew, the passing through. He say, just give me a pass on this one. Make me pass through this great travail. You see what I'm saying? Now you see the significance of this word Hebrew. It's baptism. It's faith. It's passing through one from beyond. To get over a bump, to get over humps in life. That's what Hebrew mean. It obtained all these things spiritually. Come on.
The king of Egypt. You saved Susanna from the hand of the elders of injustice.
Remember they tried to rape her?
Yeah.
And they tried to get her killed because she wouldn't let them have sex with her? Come on. So he's calling back some things. Every time somebody passed through and got over a bump, every time they expressed and they actually exercise all these characteristics of the attribute of the authority of the name, he's bringing back all this up. He's saying, Lord, please remember that you are the God of the Hebrews. Remember that. And I am a Hebrew. Save me from this travail. Come on.
You saved the three holy men, Shadrach, Meshach, and a bag Negro, from the furnace of burning fire.
You hear that? Whew, come on.
I beg you to save me from this distress.
Come on.
Then I arose and stood, and I saw a great angel standing before me with his face shining like the rays of the sun in its glory, since his face is like that which is perfect in its glory. And he was girded as if a golden girdle were upon his breast.
Now look, this sound like Christ. Come on.
His feet were like bronze, which is melted in a fire. And when I saw him, I rejoiced, for I thought that the Lord Almighty had come to visit me.
So he thought it was Christ, right? He like, oh, Christ. He like, big bro, you can't even save me. But guess who it is, though? It ain't Christ. Come on.
I fell upon my face.
And this lets you know that all of us look alike. We all look alike. Come on.
I fell upon my face, and I worshiped him. He said to me, take heed, don't worship me. I'm not the Lord Almighty.
You hear that? I ain't Christ. I'm your brother. Come on.
But I am the great angel, Irmiel.
Yeah, Arimrael.
Who is over the abyss and Hades.
You hear that? So Arimrael or Emriel, he's over hell and he's over the abyss. He's over Hades and he's over the lake of fire. He's the prison guard. He's the prison guard. Remember it was talking about urns, gates of urns and boats filled with fire. Gates, urns, it's prison houses. He guards them. Notice how hideous he is, but what might of stature he have. So according to the glory he have in the heavens, he have this great job and position over the prison houses. Come on.
The one
life in prison ain't no joke. Life in that real prison. Because remember, we're spiritual people. We're not from here. So our jail is totally different from the jail here. The jail for Hebrews. Come on.
The one in which all the souls are imprisoned from the end of the flood.
Or what? Imprisoned.
From the end of the flood, which came upon the earth until this day. Then I inquired of the angel, what is this? What is the place to which I have come? He said to me, it is Hades. Then I asked him, who is the great angel who stands thus, whom I saw?
So he like, man, who is that hideous angel who I just peeped out though? Come on.
He said, this is the one who accuses men in the presence of the Most High.
You hear that? So he's talking about the accuser. Who was our accuser? Satan, Hashatan, Samael and them. That's your prosecuting attorney. He's doing everything to get you life in prison. Come on.
Chapter 7. Then I looked, and I saw him with a manuscript in his hand. He began to unroll it. Now after he spread it out, I read it in my own language. I found that all my sins, which I have done, were written in it.
Whew. So everything you've done is being recorded and written down by this accuser. Everything. So every time you sin, know that Satan's like, this nigga just got caught slipping. Huh? Come on.
Those which I had done from my youth unto this day, they were all written upon the manuscript of mine without there being a false word in them. If I did not go to visit a sick man or a widow, I found it written down as a shortcoming upon my manuscript.
We better make sure we visiting the sick. That's even in scripture. He said, visit the sick, feed the poor and the needy. Gotta make sure we doing that. These are all part of being Hebrews. Like our name is so spiritual, man. It means so much, and we really need to get to it and start exercising the characteristics of the authority of our name and inheritance, which is Hebrew Israelite, which means one from beyond to cross over.
That's right.
Come on.
If I did not visit an orphan, it was found written down as a shortcoming on my manuscript. A day on which I did not fast or pray in the time of prayer.
In the time of prayer. Y'all better make sure y'all stay on them times of prayer. Make sure y'all stay on y'all time. You're supposed to be praying at least 3 times a day. That's part of your Hebrew culture. Come on.
I found written down as a failing upon my manuscript. In a day when I did not turn to the sons of Israel, since it is a shortcoming, I found written down upon my manuscript, so that I threw myself upon my face and prayed before the Most High. May your mercy reach me, and may you wipe out my manuscripts, because your mercy has come to be in every place and has filled every place. Then I rose and stood, and I saw a great angel before me, saying to me, triumph, prevail, because you have prevailed and have triumphed over the accuser, and you have come up from Hades and the abyss. You will now cross over the crossing place.
You hear that? Triumph and prevail. Triumph and prevail. That's beautiful. And look, check this out. This is the Hebrew word for Yisrael or Israel, Israelite. This is Hebrew Concordance H3477. Israel. It says what, brother?
God prevails.
God prevails. You see what I'm saying? All through this language, he's talking about Hebrew Israelite. All through this language, God prevails. God prevails, or he will rule as God. Israel, Israeli. Can't make this up. Come on.
Again, he brought another manuscript was written by hand. He began to unroll it, and I read it and found it written in my own language. The manuscript would be followed by a prayer. Oh, no, hold on.
No, that's right.
No.
No, right here. You on 8.
Yeah, 8. Excuse me. They helped me and set me on that boat. Thousands of thousands.
So look, so after he triumphed, right? Now he's getting put on a boat because remember, he has to cross over the what? The abyss. He have to cross over this water or this embodiment, this lake of fire. He have to cross over it. Why is he on the boat? He's going to cross over this lake of fire. See, you see the crossing over? Come on.
They helped me and set me on that boat. Thousands of thousands and myriads of angels gave praise before me.
You hear that? So all these myriads of angels, like he's crossing over. All praises to the Elohim.
All praise.
All praise. He's crossing over. A barri. He's crossing over. All praises. He's going to the kingdom. He's going to Abraham's bosom. He get the kingdom. He really get to inherit his name. He was an alien all his life. Now he will be called a son of Elohim. Ooh, beautiful. Come on.
I, myself, put on an angelic garment.
You hear that? He put on an angelic garment. His garment's changed. He got a glorified body now. Whew. He's not longer in his stranger flesh. Come on.
I saw all those angels praying. I myself prayed together with them. I knew their language, which they spoke with me.
You hear that? Their language, that pure language. He knew it. Come on.
Now, moreover, my sons, this is a trial because it is necessary that the good and the evil be weighed in a balance.
Judgment. That's called judgment. Come on.
Chapter 9. Then a great angel came forth having a golden trumpet in his hands. And he blew it 3 times over my head, saying, Be courageous, O one who has triumphed. Prevail, O one who has prevailed. For you have triumphed over the accuser.
You hear that? You have triumphed over the accuser. Come on.
And you have escaped from the abyss and Hades.
Meaning you crossed over the abyss and Hades. Come on.
You will now cross over the crossing.
Hold on. Let's go back and read that slow. You will now what?
You will now cross over the crossing place.
You will now cross over. We already looked up what the word abar means. It means to cross over. One from beyond, to pass over. You will now cross over. You finally get to live out the name that was given to you. Finally. Come on.
For your name.
For what?
For your name is written in the book of the living.
You hear that? So that's the inheritance of your name. Your real Hebrew crossing over name. That's when you home free. That's when there's no more fighting. Y'all see the significance of the spiritual, mystical meaning of Hebrew Israelite? Come on.
I wanted to embrace him, but I was unable to embrace the great angel because his glory is great.
You heard that? He wanted to hug him, but his glory so great, he couldn't even hug him. This how bright this angel is. He like, oh, I can't even run and hug him. I crossed over. Let me get a pinky toe or something. But he's so bright that he can't even embrace him for his crossing over. Yeah. He actually lived out and exercised the attributes of the characteristics of the authority of his inherent name, which was Hebrew Israelite. You know what I'm saying? Hebrew Israelite Zephaniah. He was given a new name. Oh man, that's beautiful. Come on.
Then he ran to all the righteous ones, namely Abraham and Isaac and Yaquab.
You see them? So meaning they crossed over. He see them. He like, oh man. He like Yaquab, Abraham, Yishka. Hey, I'm in here too. I'm in this thing too, baby. We back home. You know what I'm saying? Where the wine then? Let's drink some new wine. Oh man, that's gonna be beautiful, man.
And Enoch and Elijah and David. He spoke with them.
You see that? King David, King Dawada, Elijah, Enoch, all of them at home, man. Hey, look, we have to live out this Hebrew name. We have to cross over. We got to. I'm trying to go back home. Burning in the prison forever or that. I'm choosing that, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a Hebrew. I'm not from here. I'm from above. And above is coming here. The kingdom will come. It's going to reside at Jerusalem. Is going to reside on earth. Come on.
He spoke with them as friends to friends, speaking with one another. Want to read 10?
Yeah, 10 and we out. One more chapter, y'all. We're going to get up out of here.
Then the great angel came to me with the golden trumpet in his hand, and he blew it up to heaven. Heaven opened from the place where the sun rises to where it sets, from the north to the south.
Yeah.
I saw the sea, which I had seen at the bottom of Hades. Its waves came up to the clouds.
You hear that? He's seen the sea. So now we see that Hades is a portal between earth and what? Heaven. We see it. There's guards over this prison system. There's a guard over there, Remael. He holds the key to this prison. And it's hideous angels that keep guard and torment you daily. You can't cross over. You're not a Hebrew no more because you ain't crossing over nothing. You're not passing through anything. Now that Hebrew Israelite name don't mean nothing to you. Come on.
I saw all the souls sinking in it.
Whew, you're that sinking. You're drowning in a lake of fire, tormenting forever and ever. You have a life sentence because you didn't want to exercise the authority and characteristics of the attributes of your inherent name, Hebrew. You ain't crossed over. Come on.
I saw some whose hands were bound to their necks.
You hear that? Some hands bound to their necks. You getting punished for what you did. Come on.
With their hands and feet being fettered, I said, "Who are these?" He said to me, "These are the ones who were bribed, and they were given gold and silver unto the souls of men were led astray."
You hear that? So you all that bribing, you false prophets. Boy, look, you gonna be bounded, feet feathered. You gonna be hog tied and getting punished forever. You ain't no Hebrew. Come on.
I saw others covered with mats of fire. I said, "Who are these?" He said to me, "These are the ones who give money at interest."
Who? You're that charging people with entrance. Who? See that? Come on.
And they receive interest for interest.
You hear that? Now you getting your entrance up in this lake of fire. Hog tied. Come on. Roasting like a pig. You ain't no crossing over for you. Come on.
And I also saw some blind ones crying out. And I was amazed when I saw all these works of Yahweh. I said, "Who are these?" He said to me, "These are catechumens who heard the word of God, but they were not perfect in the work which they heard."
Whew, you hear that? Heard the word of God and fell off. Heard the word and fell off. Didn't cross over. Man, this is something serious. Come on.
And I said to him, "Then do they not have repentance here?" He said, "Yes." I said, "How long?" He said to me, "Until the day when the Lord will judge." And I saw others with their hair on them. I said, "Then there is hair and body in this place." He said, "Yes, the Lord gives body and hair to them as he desires."
You heard that? So you have body and hair, but it's in this flesh. Yes, you can repent all you want. You can yell and say, "Forgive me," but it's already too late. Already too late. Already too late. So while you burning, you be like, "Lord, I'm sorry." You gonna really mean it, but you ain't better. You can't prevail. You can't cross over from it. So now that we know, go do that camera real quick. If I can run through this one more time before we get up out of here. So now we know that a bari means to what? Cross over. But where are you crossing into? You crossing into the land of the living. You crossing over to the kingdom. We're just Hebrews passing through. So that's the spiritual meaning. The spiritual meaning of being a Hebrew Israelite. So with that being said, I need y'all to start living like that. Start living spiritually. Because like I said before, time and time again, there are going to be a lot of physical Hebrew Israelites that's going to be burning in the lake of fire or in these prison holding systems where we just read, in these holding cells. But if you do it spiritually, you crossing over, you getting in and getting out, and you're not becoming of this world and of these materialistic things, you have a shot at that kingdom to prevail, to triumph, to cross over the abyss and get a new name, your new language, to dwell in one of these houses of many mansions. So let's really start seeing the spiritual side of things and really exercising the attributes and the characteristics of our inherited name, Hebrew, Israelite. With that being said, all praise to Yahweh Hashem, Mashiach Yahushua, Barakatah, Hallelujah, Olam Kaya HaMalak, long live the King of Israel, Lords of Lords. Shalom.